Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight from Burger Stadium as the Bowie Bulldogs open up their 2023 season slate here against a familiar non-district opponent in the Vista Ridge Rangers. This game is powered by Robinson Creek Healthcare and Hospice right here along the Vype Live network. My name is Dee Hansen, and I am joined by my broadcast partner, Steve Foster, who will join here momentarily. Bowie football is back in business yet again. The Bulldogs have won 10 games, reaching the regional round of the playoffs 2 years ago, of course, and then going 7-3 last year and taking the eventual state champion runner-up, the Vanderbilt Vipers, to the wire in By District. Through those last couple of seasons, Bowie has seen itself get back to the level of football they are accustomed to playing. The formula has been a familiar one: defense and a strong running game. This season, Coach Jeff Abels will have to rely on that same philosophy, but looking to the unknown to execute it, with only 4 starters, 2 on both sides of the football, and only 18 lettermen returning for the Bulldogs. And starting 8 juniors on offense will look to generate the same output as last year's squad that put up an average of over 34 points per game. Defensively, this Bowie team is also inexperienced but talented. We'll have a front 7 that has the potential to match up against some of the best offenses the state of Texas has to offer right here in District 26-6A. One constant that we have seen and heard so far this summer that would stem from the 2021 team to the 2022 team and now here in 2023 is that this is an unselfish group of players that learn how to play winning football from those that preceded them. Tonight will be first varsity gameplay for many, and they will get their first taste against a team that Bowie has now played 4 times to open up the season, including the last 2 years in the Vista Ridge Rangers. Vista went 5-5 last season, just missing the postseason by virtue of a crazy 3-way tiebreaker that didn't go their way. Third-year head coach Chad Scott will look to his defense to get things going early, returning 6 on that side of the football, including one of the most disruptive defensive linemen in the Centex area, Caden Dees. The offense sputtered at times last year, but have plenty of playmakers coming back. That hasn't been the question for the Rangers, but the play at quarterback has. This season, we'll see a third new starter in as many seasons to take his turn to get this offense back on track, and senior Jackson Arnaud. Stay with us. So we have coming up, we'll run through the starting lineups, get to the kickoff of tonight's contest as the Bowie Bulldogs host the Vista Ridge Rangers under the Thursday night lights of Burger Stadium. You are listening to Bowie Bulldog Football, presented to you by Robinson Creek Healthcare and Hospice along the Vype Live network.
All promising to get you a big check easily and quickly. The truth is, when handled well, an injury case is not easy and they take time. You shouldn't pick an attorney because of their gimmicks. You should pick an attorney because they have experience and resources to get you and your family the best outcome. A serious injury requires a serious attorney. At the Carlson Law Firm, we're not characters, we're attorneys with character.
CarlsonAttorneys.com. We care, we can help.
At Circle C Orthodontics, Dr. Fidel Del Toro and Dr. Jonathan Kimes love making beautiful, healthy smiles. Utilizing the latest advances in technology and techniques, the team at Circle C Ortho can help you look better and feel better too. Their practice philosophy focuses on patient-centered, personalized care. They take the time to get to know you as a person, not just a set of teeth or braces. Circle C Orthodontics, no referral needed. All insurance plans welcome and affordable payment options available. More information at austin-braces.com, 512-394-0930.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. In fact, in just our area alone, the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation has granted more than $343,000 to local first responder heroes. That's why at Firehouse Subs they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. And their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. With Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go, it's never been easier to grab subs to go for you or your whole crew. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app. And they'll have your sub boxed, bagged, and ready to be picked up at our designated to-go areas. No line, no waiting. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
is sponsored by Robinson Creek Healthcare and Hospice. The festivities continue as we are well underway with the football season. The Vista Ridge Rangers now coming out on the field to our right. That is the east portion of the stadium. And a brand new field, turf, for this Burger Stadium facility. And that with a big State of Texas in the middle and Austin ISD in the middle and athletics and script. And now the Bowie Bulldogs come out onto the field also to our right from their big inflatable bulldog head. Clad in black on the top and the gray bottoms, the white letters numbers in red trim to start out the season, and the black helmets. Vista Ridge in whites, tops and bottoms, with the red letters, numbers, and black trim. Both teams now in their respective huddles to our left in the end zones as we get things underway. Both teams coming in after relatively good seasons, at least for Bowie, certainly. And I'm sure that Chad Scott would like to have seen his team make the playoffs. This is now 2 years in a row that Vista Ridge has not been able to make it into the postseason, but there are multiple outlets that have them coming in fourth out of District 25 6A. So an improved squad that does return 6 on the defensive side and 4 on the offensive side. For the Bowie Bulldogs and Jeff Abels, he is sitting at 147 wins. He needs 3 more, obviously, to get that 150 mark, Steve, and that is one of those that gets you on the list when you're looking at coaches that are climbing up the ladder of the history of Texas high school football, and a $150 is nothing to sneeze at. In his 22nd season, he has won 63% of his football games, and he has done it with defense and running the football, and that's going to be another big-time philosophy going into this year. This particular season is one that's going to be a bit of an unknown for this Bowie football team, as they have a dearth of experience. This is a team that only returns 2 starters on both sides of the football, only 15 returning lettermen, so it's going to be one that will also be interesting here in non-district play. Only 2 games again because of how many teams are in 26-6A. That the Bowie will have to take advantage of those situations to see where certain players are going to, how they're going to perform, because they haven't played, many of them, under the Friday night lights or the Thursday night lights in this particular situation at varsity level.
Well, yeah, I tell you this. It's the ultimate team sport. So these players will have to come together quick. They've been playing football before, but you're right, the level of play is different. But this team also knows how to play to win. What the coaching staff, though, is very experienced, and it's their job and duty to get all these student athletes on the same page.
The Bowie Bulldogs will have an offense out there that does have a couple of starters. One at left tackle and Justice Trumpler, wearing number 72, a senior, 6'3", 255. And Carmine Eli at wideout, wearing number 14. He is a leading receiver, returning at least, with 25 catches, 368 yards, and 7 touchdowns. One of another key cog on this offense that's not returning, that has been part of this team for quite a bit of time, both playing and coaching, is Ty Branyan, and he elected to not come back after 16 years as one of the chief play callers on the offensive side of the football, and now everything will land into the hands and lap of Brandon Pittman. In his 17th season as co-OC, he was the run game coordinator, and now he is the overall coordinator of this offense. Cruz Tello, if that last name rings a bell, Diego Tello, his older brother, played at quarterback here at Bowie for a couple of seasons before he went on to UTSA and then transferred as a redshirt freshman to Trinity Valley Community College there in Athens, Texas. You also have Brandon Thomas starting at tailback, wearing number 28, a junior last year. He had 28 carries and 3 touchdowns. Your wideouts include Matthew Martinez, wearing number 4, a senior. Cole Craddock will be at tight end, wearing number 20, a junior. And also Owen Ball at wideout, wearing number 3, a junior as well. The offensive line from left to right, already mentioned Justice Trumpler. He is the captain on the team. Cedric Walls at left guard, number 61, a junior, 6'1", 275. Center is Clayton Meagill. He wears number 58, a junior, 5'10", 245. You have Carlos Ortiz at right guard, 175, a junior, 6'3", 295. He has big shoes to fill with Ethan McMahon, earning all-district honors last year, and Josh Martino at right tackle, 167, a junior, 6'2", 240. We have both teams now at midfield, ready to conduct the coin toss here. Stormy Johnson is the official, the white cap here this evening. Jason Ruff, the umpire. Head linesman is Scott Williford. Josh Canales, the line judge, and back judge is Daryl McCants.
Alejandro Mate, and the captains for the Bowie Bulldogs.
It is 98 degrees here to start out. 4 minutes to go before kickoff. 26% relative humidity with very little wind to speak of.
Number 14, Carmen Eli.
And a
And number
pretty
17,
good
Justin Tremp.
crowd on hand, clad in mainly black here. Below us here on the home side of the field. I think we're going to get the coin toss at some point. Chad Scott, again, the head coach for Vista Ridge. Excuse me.
Bowie has won the toss.
And you know what? Not shocking that they deferred. That rings a bell from last few seasons. So Vista Ridge will be receiving in the west end zone to our left.
I'll tell you one thing, D. The running back will not be devalued in high school football in Texas, especially for Bowie, which I believe the running game will help out, as you mentioned. Yes, a Cruz Tello who's stepping in. Yes, his brother has done extremely well for the Bowie Bulldogs, but now it's his turn, and a solid running game will certainly keep this offense balanced.
Cruz Tello, one of 8 juniors starting on this offense, is also dialing in an area that has not been as prevalent for Bowie when you're talking about the starting quarterback, and that he is a dual threat. Also, he can run the football, and no slight against any other quarterbacks that have been here, but aside from Trin, you have not seen a lot of the ability to effectively run without it being
Matthew Wheeler a little. You're correct.
A little.
Absolutely.
And now we'll pause for our national
At this
anthem.
time, we ask everyone to please stand for the national anthem.
National anthem prepared and executed with precision to our left by the Bowie Bulldog band as the color guard now comes out off of the field. The offense will be without, of course, the names of Connor Kenyon, Max Barnes, Aaron Gall. Those were first-team All-District players from a year ago. Aaron Gall is one player that you don't see this very often, was first-team All-District on both sides of the football. He's a long snapper, first-team All-District, and of course last year he was first-team All-District a year ago for his remarkable play at defensive end. So that's something to kind of sink in a little bit for this team.
Well, I tell you, on this level, there's hardly two-way players that can excel on that level, and he's playing on the next level.
So that goes to the offense here for Bowie. Jeff Abels in his 22nd season as the head coach, 147 wins, 86 losses, his 36th year as a coach overall, opening in 1988. Chad Scott in his third year, 9-11 now going into this season. He's the defensive coordinator for the last 5 years for Vista Ridge before Rodney Vincent left for Shallow Water, and his 15th year overall as a head coach. Yeah.
I remember Coach Abel's 100th victory out in Abilene Cooper. And that's where Coach Jeff Abels got his 100th victory. Now, as you mentioned, close to 150. It doesn't seem like it's been that long ago.
We'll get to this defense here after the kickoff, which is about to get underway, and it'll be Zidaya Jabi, the senior, to do the honors from right to left from the 40-yard line. And this defense, of course, the defensive coordinator is Darren Pittman in his 7th season, deploying that 3-3 stack. Only one missing name from last few years. Defensive back coach Ray Torres is no longer on the staff. Jeff Abels, back in his own stomping grounds, is now the secondaries coach. Here is the kick, and the season is underway. It is a short end-over-end high kick, fielded at the 15-yard line, sprinting right up the middle and bowling his way to the 30-yard line is Caden Dees, who is defensive end, who is now coming in also as the up man in the short kick situation. And that ball we placed actually at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Quarterback here for Vista Ridge is Jackson Arnaud, the senior, coming in. And he is filling the shoes of Jackson Harrell from a year ago. Harrell just over 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. This has not been the strongest suit for the Rangers. Now the shotgun, it will be a run to start things out. And that'll be maybe a yard on the play up the gut. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. The defense here for Bowie, the 3-down lineman, Garrett Gibson in the middle. Whereas number 62 had 4 tackles, 4 loss, and 4 sacks last year. He is a senior, along with Colin Rice now stepping in, wearing number 99. And Jackson Lang, number 44, the sophomore, the lone starting sophomore on either side of the football. Flare out left-hand side is caught and then drilled after about a 3-yard gain. That one, Josan Gaines with the reception out of the backfield will now make it 3rd and 5, and Michael Villarreal drove him down in the ground using his right shoulder to make that happen. Linebackers include Reagan Cooper, wears number 5, a junior, Nick Beavers, wearing number 30, a senior, and Michael Villarreal, weak side, wearing number 11, a senior as well. Hand off again on a 3rd and 5, and the Rangers sticking with the run will not find any room. It'll be about a 2-yard gain at the most, up to the 42-yard line, bring a 4th and 4.
4th and 4.
Not even that, and now the punting unit will come out for the Rangers. To round out the defense, Braylon Thomas at free safety, a big component of that secondary, whereas number 8 a senior, Derek Neptune, the Rover, whereas number 2 a senior. Your corners are Cole James, where 10 a senior, and Isaiah Mims, where number 23 a junior. Here is the punt. Ty Duchette with the kick. High snap back, he collects it. Modest pressure, gets it away. Wobbling kick, and is here. Eli will bring it up. Carmine is brought back and then falls down at around the 16-yard line. He loses yardage from where he initially caught the ball at around the 21-yard line, and there is a flag on the play.
Well, it's interesting because there was only coverage and Carmine, so is it a tackle maybe around the helmet? I'm not sure, but well, no.
I don't
pick it up.
Anything that's happening, yeah. Okay, the ball is now on the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 here for the offense. And the first snap for the Cruz Tello regime. And he will hand it off here. Brandon Thomas gets the carry from the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Juice will get a few yards on that play, trying to find a seat. And they'll bring up a 2nd down and around 7 to go.
Defense of the ball, 2 yards.
Trips left-hand side. 1 out right. Now the shotgun once again is Tello. Junior Thomas to his left on the play action, throws it out right-hand side and trying to find Carmine Eli out to the 35-yard line upfield. And good coverage on that right side will prevent Eli from even really seeing the ball. It was a flat ball, too. It was a line driver, and that brings up a third down and about 8.
I know you're going to have confidence in number 14, Carmine, but you're not going to have very much success when it's that close to the line of scrimmage and you have press coverage.
Here comes ball out near side to the left-hand side of the formation. And then ranging off, far out left is Martinez. So you have ball in the slot to the left and Carmine Eli out to the right. Ball in motion from the left to right now. He's in the slot there. And the handoff, nope. Play action, roll out left is Tello. Now he's in trouble, throws it out and intended for Thomas, but more of a throwaway than anything else. The pressure causing that throw, and that's Dees that got in the mix there, along with Grant Anderson. And that will precipitate, our second punt of the game, first for Bowie.
Yes, and right now the defenses on the line of scrimmage are playing better than the offensive lines for both of these teams, and they're definitely applying pressure and cutting off the running lanes, D, in these first 2 series.
Jacob Polito will kick it away. High snap back. He is able to get it away. Nice wobbling kick. It be fair caught. Leaning in and able to make the catch is Cade Nathman, senior. But great starting field position. The second offensive series of the game for the Rangers at their own 48-yard line on the far side hash, 1st and 10. It's a series now, 9th meeting between these two schools. Bowie leads at 7-1. And they have now also won they won 7 of the last 8 season openers. Here is the handoff and a sweep right-hand side and a huge loss on the play back at the 39-yard line. And that will bring up a 2nd and long here for the Rangers. Noah Lear coming in and making the big-time stop. The Bandit back.
Good pursuit, D. Just not a lot of blocking on both of these offensive lines yet. The defense having their way.
Back out right-hand side. Sidearm throw is complete at around the 37 up to the 39. Back to that line of scrimmage goes the Rangers. That one complete to J.D. Jackson. Stopped by Isaiah Mims. And this defense active. Leading up to this game, went out to the Hendrickson scrimmage. This defense, especially that front 7, very active here for Bowie. 4 wideouts, 2 split to each side out of the shotgun. And now we've got all kinds of motion against the Rangers, and the flags fly for our first official flag of the game. And Steve, you're thinking maybe there might be offsides called against Bowie. We'll see. There is a conference between the officials.
Head linesman came in with offsides. The linesman and the umpire may be different. So up to the referee.
There was a lot of motion by the Rangers that might have caused that Bulldog defense to be drawn. False start. I think that's the appropriate call.
5 yards. Remain. Third down.
Interesting how some of the team of officials see it differently, but I think that's the right call.
Well, in a good conference, too. I mean, it's okay to see it differently, but then to get it right.
Correct.
And you have the conference. It's now 3rd and a mile, 24 yards needed, and now over the middle, the pass is caught at midfield, but well short of the first down by about 8 or 9 yards. And that will bring up a 4th down and around 7 or 8 to go. Jake Pondo with the reception in Bowie territory at the 49-yard line, and yet another punt. This is reminiscent of last year's game. It was a quick score by Bowie to go up 7-0, and then it just lingered forever at like 14-7. And now here's the punt once again. Ty Ducachette gets it away, and is a knuckleballer, but drives Carmine Eli back to his own 10-yard line, tries to range out far side sideline, and gets pulled down late. No flag thrown. And Carmine Eli out of bounds at the 14-yard line. First and 10, 7:26 left here in the first quarter. Play no score between two teams that seem to be trying to get their footing on offense. And this is par for the course and for a lot of teams, especially when they don't have a lot of returning starters on the offensive side. Usually it takes a little bit more time.
Oh, absolutely, because it's timing, not disruption. Disruption you can do just with effort and a little bit of the scheme. The offenses have to get coordinated on that line of scrimmage to make the run and the pass work for both of these squads.
Martinez out far left-hand side, and now Tello, play action, throws it out left-hand side on the near side sideline to the 18-yard line. Caught there down to the 20 to 23-yard line for a first down. Carmine Eli with the reception, actually just shy of a first down. Looks like they could mark him about a yard and a half short.
Well,
Second down and short.
He runs well, so if you can get some quick passes to playmakers and then allow them to run after the catch, that's going to give some confidence to Cruz Tello, the junior quarterback, and keep this ball moving down the field.
I haven't seen a lot of runs from what has been also, and now we have another false start. This one by the Bulldogs, I believe. Yep, that's flags fly.
And you mentioned
first against them.
that
it just takes a little bit of time.
Exactly, the timing and different things like that, because it's not practice. This is the real game against the real opponent.
We've got 4 new starters on the offensive front and a new play caller in game situation that have to get used to that.
Yes.
And that's going to take a bit of time, but this is one of the larger offensive lines that Bowie's had in quite a bit of time. In motion is ball from left to now right where they're bunched near side. One out left is Carmine Eli, and it's fun to watch his maturation too. The guy has obviously put in some work in the weight room. A much bigger version this season, looking for big time things. And now handoff left-hand side, nice run. Putting the head down up to the 23-yard line, near there.
Well, and if you can get good production like that on second down on your running game, now the play action becomes that much more to the advantage of the offense, because you have to respect a good push for the run here on third and short.
Jason Mathable with the run. He is also the up man, the fullback in this offense. Now, Bowie's going to utilize the fullback a lot more than we've seen in the past, Steve, as far as actually handing the ball off to those fullbacks. Keeson will share with Jaden Boudouin, who played during last year as well. Now we have a substitution as the aforementioned Jason Mathable now has to come out of the game. And in for him will be Joe Delmark. Came over from Lake Travis, and the handoff goes right-hand side. And they're going to say that's at the line of scrimmage. On a 3rd and 1, it's now 4th and 1. Deep in your own territory, Bowie, we forced a punt once again.
Good push by the defensive line for Vista Ridge. And again, like I said, you're getting the push better on critical downs right now in this first quarter from the defense, not the offense. But you did see a good run out of Bowie, but they've got to be consistent.
Rangers don't really put anybody back now. They might, as Tavon McAdams will come back. No, and now they're all up front as Bowie will punt it away. And here comes some pressure up the middle. Kick is away. Polito gets hit, and it does take a friendly bounce after hitting at the 42-yard line of the Rangers, and all the way down as it's touched up at the 30-yard line by Owen Ball. 1st and 10 for the Rangers, and the battle of field position continues here at Burger Stadium. What have you seen that you like so far? Obviously, the defenses are doing their job.
I like the defensive line push by both of these teams. They are doing the bend but don't break, even though we saw 3rd and short there, and it looked like there may be some momentum gathered by Bowie. Vista Ridge and their defensive line, a great stop on 3rd and short. So, the defense doesn't have to do a lot. It's more effort. The offense has to get the coordination and the timing down.
One of 3 Thursday night games on the slate this season. We had 4 last year, did Bowie? Last year against Vista Ridge, this defense about come out on the field once again for the 3rd time tonight. Had 6 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks, and 3 turnovers forced, and they're ready to go.
Remember, we had the opportunity to talk to the officiating crew, and they were going to stop possibly 3 to 4 times during this game because of the heat. So that gives
for water breaks.
Yes,
essentially.
Yes.
And right now it looks like. Oh.
Sideline interference. Vista Ridge.
Oh.
15 yards.
That is huge.
Yes.
On top of what it was an advantageous punt anyway for Bowie. Tack on another 15 yards as the officials try to figure out what they were going to deliver. They delivered a sideline infraction, a 15-yard penalty. So now the nose of the football is at the 15-yard line, middle of the field, going first and 10 left to right here for Vista Ridge.
2 things. Usually a sideline infraction is a warning.
Yes.
This one was 15, so it must have been egregious enough to have this referee group say penalty.
Here's Arnaud now out of the shotgun, and he will hand it off left-hand side. That's Gaines again, and he breaks it back in on almost what looked like a counter. He'll lose a yard of the play. The interior line continues to play well. Colin Rice with the stop. And Steve, you know I always earmark a couple players.
Yes.
And I mentioned them to you before the season starts. Colin Rice is on that list. Watch him as the season goes on. And already mentioned Noah Lear a little bit.
Yes.
But Reagan Cooper, who we saw on both sides of the football last year also. And watch him. Not that everybody else should be watched. Here's a pass right-hand side, and it'll be incomplete. Arnaud unable to connect out near side sideline. And this offense we've seen this before. That was Tian Murray, who's the intended receiver, had a hard time with quarterbacks in the last 3 seasons.
Right.
And they seemingly trying to get Arnaud in the mix, and he is not consistent so far.
There's a guy I want to mention on the defense that you picked out even a season ago, D.
2 right, 1 left-hand side. Handoff again out to Gaines, and he will make the edge at the 15-20. Spun around and out of bounds near side sideline on the near side in front of the Bowie bench. And he will be shy the first down by about 3 yards. Derek Neptune in on the stop, the Rover. And that will bring up a 4th down. And, oh my gosh, the punting continues.
Yes, that's true. But Garrett Gibson, number 62, you had pointed him out a season ago. And he's now the commander in the middle of this 3-3.
And how big of a position is that in the 3-3 stack? That the middle we all know is paramount. Carmine Eli, deep to receive his own 45-yard line, and Dicachette gets it blocked, and it's picked up, and going into the end zone for a touchdown, it's Colin Rice!
Right on time!
6 on the board, and the Bulldogs take the lead.
Well, what's so impressive, one, that you called him out just moments prior, but not only does Colin Rice, number 99 for the Bulldogs, block the punt, he had the wherewithal to then scoop and score. So you talk about an athletic defensive lineman playing that in position, coming just slanting Harding right up the middle, didn't touch the punter. Got his hands out, blocked the punt, so the ball didn't go up in the air at all. It goes bouncing low, and he has the sensibility to just pick it up, scoop it, and score. Impressive all around.
Well, in a game that has been nothing but punts so far, the defense strikes first on the scoreboard. Here's the extra point by Jabby. It is up, and it is good with 4:48 left in the very first quarter of the season. The Bowie Bulldogs strike first here at home against Vista Ridge, leading 7-0. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Do you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs health care at home? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. Our skilled, compassionate healthcare staff treats patients right where they want to be, in the comfort of their home. Robinson Creek offers personalized programs including cardiac care, wound care, diabetes and medication management, orthopedic care and therapy, as well as hospice care. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
Looking for the best brunch, lunch, dinner, or happy hour spot? Look no further than your neighborhood Waterloo Ice House. With 4 locations across Austin, we've been serving up cold drinks and made-from-scratch food for locals, newcomers, and families alike since 1976. Get a taste of original Austin with great food and good vibes. With our patios, playscapes, big screens, daily specials, breakfast all day, and more, we've got something for everyone. See locations, menus, and more at WaterlooIcehouse.com. Waterloo Ice House, where neighbors become friends.
Womack Real Estate is a full-service real estate brokerage located in the heart of Southwest Austin. We are here to serve the Austin area community. We help buyers, sellers, and investors with all their real estate needs. We're a diverse and dynamic company of professional and experienced real estate agents that bring hospitality to the real estate process to make it a smooth, enjoyable experience. We work with each client individually, taking the time to understand their unique lifestyles, needs, and wishes. We will be a committed ally to negotiate on your behalf and with the backing of a trusted company. Get in touch with us today. Find us at womackrealestate.com.
Bowie Bulldogs take the early lead here at Burger Stadium. Defense joined by Steve Foster along the Vype Live Network. 7-0 lead for Bowie on the strength of their defense, getting a blocked punt and returning it in for a touchdown. Colin Rice to do the honors with 4:48 left here in the first quarter play and kicking it away. We'll get to your thought here in a second. Here's Jabby with the kick from his own 40-yard line, right to left, and angles it again near side sideline. And high end over end kick is fielded the 3-yard line upfield. Here's Gaines, and he will be met and dropped at around the 23-yard line. That by Joaquin Tijerina. 1st and 10 for the Rangers, going left to right. And so far, this defense for the Bowie Bulldogs, largely unproven based on the fact that we just haven't seen these names before, has been performing very well. But again, the Vista Ridge Rangers have not been able to really throw the football,
all right, here comes
even when it's out.
Here comes my first one.
Got it.
Colin Rice, the Bowie Bulldog treat.
Jeez.
You have to be in the over 40 crowd to get that one.
Yeah, and even then, you might not laugh. It's okay. 4 wideouts, 2 split to each side here for the Rangers, and now looking over will be Arnaud. In the backfield, starting Arnaud is J.D. Jackson, junior running back. And now flags fly as zeros are on the board for the play clock. There'll be a delay of game against the Rangers, and I think that's their 3rd penalty of the game already. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Some of these things you do expect to start out the season.
You mentioned, and so far you're very clairvoyant, Vista Ridge has had difficulty with the quarterback position over the last few seasons. So not surprised by the timing as well as other things. And now, umpire coming in, set this ball.
In the proper location. Now, finally 5 yards back from where it was previously spot at 18 now. Near the far side, hash play action, lobbing this one left-hand side, and a complete miscommunication between the quarterback and the wideout, as that was lobbed to nobody in the vicinity. James Hester, I think, was the intended receiver as he broke back into the ball, and instead Arnaud went deep. Incomplete.
Good rush up front. Again, these defensive lines have have done their job, and it's making it difficult to have any type of deep passing game for either of these squads.
Gibson in the middle, Rice and Lang on the outside. Here's the handoff up the middle, and Gibson again with the stop. A yard loss on the play. Now bring up a 3rd down. And around 17 to go here for the Rangers. Gains on the carry.
Just a good push again in the defensive front. You know, you may have to start rotating these guys. It's just the first quarter, but right now both of these defensive lines have showed out.
Gains one of the, sorry, go ahead.
Well, and then they were trying to get things back. It seems like Gibson had lost the towel, but that's going to be of no consequence.
Press coverage here, man-to-man. Now here comes the blitz up the middle, and now there's a delayed blitz up the middle, and down goes Arnaud. That was enough to stun and make it difficult. Gibson in the mix as well. But you had a couple of guys go in, and Reagan Cooper was the last to go in. That really caused a lot of problems.
Yeah, but I tell you, the front push by Garrett Gibson and Colin Rice is really bringing it, and also include Jackson Lang. He is really causing a lot of havoc with the timing. Just a great look by the defensive line of the Bulldogs.
Bit of change out here for coverage. Out goes Jackson Lang. Now hold will be against the defense of Bowie, which will wipe out all of the work they have done to this point. It's a spot foul, move the ball to the 26-yard line, but more importantly, an automatic first down for the Rangers.
Well, here's the thing. It must have been in the secondary. However, with the good push that you're getting by Bowie, no need to hold these receivers. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, near side sideline, ranging up is Tian Murray. Now, he was a leading receiver from a year ago with 23 catches, 357 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He'll be now in motion now from right to left. Now trips left-hand side. Handoff goes right, and now breaking it back up middle is Gaines from the 25 to the 26-yard line. And there's really no room for these Ranger running backs against this defensive front six.
No, what you tried to see there from Vista Ridge is a misdirection, trying to get that front flow of the defense for Bowie to go one way and then have the rusher come back through a running lane the opposite way, but not having it are the Bulldogs.
Arnaud with Gaines behind him on a 2nd and 10. Back to pass now, lobs it out right-hand side. It will be caught at the 35-yard line. Upfield to the 40, to the 44-yard line. It's Tian Murray for a first down. And from what I can recall, maybe one of the first receptions of the evening here for the Rangers, and none bigger than that one.
Absolutely, and that's why you got to keep calling these plays, because you may hit, and right there, now Vista Ridge out of a hole as they're almost to the 45-yard line and close to midfield.
So far, how big is that holding call now against the Bulldogs?
Yes.
2 receivers right, 1 left-hand side. That's the long side of the field, ball on the near side hash. Handoff into delay. Here's Gaines, tries to find some room, delaying, and now he'll go up the middle and gain maybe 2 yards to the 46-yard line. He is stopped and dropped. Grabbed by the hips and brought back by Reagan Cooper, who has been, his name has been mentioned a lot already here in the game, here in the first quarter.
Absolutely.
2:05 left and counting down. 4 wideouts, 2 split to each side. Arnaud out of the shotgun. This pistol formation, Rangers really favor it. Play action, looking right-hand side, throws a sidearm, and it will be incomplete. 2 receivers in the vicinity, kind of made it more difficult for that to end up happening. Now it's Tian Murray who was in the mix along with R.J. Gutierrez, and that will be an incomplete pass.
Carmine.
3rd down and 8 to go.
Eli in the secondary playing some defensive back, so he kind of knows about receivers coming out of their breaks, and he was on top of that pass to the near side.
Now you have about 7 in the box. It'll be a play, throw out right-hand side, but because of the pressure, they get rid of that ball earlier than expected. Carmine Eli all over the intended receiver. That was Jason Gaines. And that will bring up, and Reagan Cooper planting Arnaud brings up a 4th and 8. So even though the defensive holding call perpetuated this drive, a nice pitch and catch, gets it over the way around midfield.
Yes.
Defense still does the job and forces the punt. Ty Ducachette with the punt from around his own 30-yard line. Here comes some modest pressure. End over end kick hits at the 22-yard line, then takes a friendly Bowie bounce and stays about neutral, actually. It's touched up there at the 22 on the far side sideline. Make it 1st and 10, going right to left here. The Bulldogs leading 7-0 here at home.
The Bulldogs take over. First down.
Plenty of other games going on tomorrow. You have one game out of the district teams that are playing tonight. Of course, that is the Taco Shack Bowl, which always played as early as possible here on the 24th, which is the earliest game that Bowie's ever played in its school's history. I went all the way back as far as I could. 26 is the earliest I could see. Trojans taking on the McCallum Knights there at House Park, and then a full slate in 26-6A play and non-district play tomorrow night. Here's a handoff right-hand side, spin move on the run. Actually, that's Cruz Tello. And now a late flag comes in at the end of that play. As Tello will be stopped at the 25-yard line. So no handoff. Tello with the keeper. That would, as it stands, be about 4-yard gain. See what happens here with the penalty. Conference here with Stormy Johnson and crew. He'll walk out now here, face the home crowd.
After play, dead ball. Personal foul. Offense. Late hit. 7-2. Half the distance.
Okay, so
From the end of the run.
last couple of series, first on defense and now here on offense. Some costly penalties after some advantageous plays preceding that.
Well, you got to be careful. And right there, I know big number 72, Justice Crumpler, didn't want to commit that penalty.
You're captain on the team as well. You want to try to stay within the confines here. And here's Diego Tello. Excuse me, I knew it was going to happen. And Tello will run up, and he'll get to the 15-yard line. He tried to look downfield to pass that ball, Steve. You can tell he's not trying to run first and pass second. And that still, though, will result in a 3rd and long situation for the Bulldogs around 3rd and 15 with 1:09 and counting down left here in the first quarter of play. Bowie leading 7-0.
Yeah, Cruz Tello looked, felt the pressure. I got to give him credit for trying to sneak out the side door to his right. But again, good pressure by Vista Ridge up front, and they just collapse on him after a short gain.
At the ball to the left-hand side of Tello. Now we'll move out to the right-hand side. 2 receivers right and 2 left, and a timeout taken on the field by the Bulldogs. We will take it with them with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. Bowie 3rd and 15 at their own 16-yard line, leading 7-0 here against Vista Ridge. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Do you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs health care at home? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. Our skilled, compassionate healthcare staff treats patients right where they want to be, in the comfort of their home. Robinson Creek offers personalized programs including cardiac care, wound care, diabetes and medication management, orthopedic care and therapy, as well as hospice care. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
Back in business, coming out of the timeout, the first of the game taken here by the Bowie Bulldogs, leading 7-0 with 40 seconds to go against the Vista Ridge Rangers here in the first quarter of play. D. Hanson joined by Steve Foster here along the Vype Live Network. We'll have a 3rd and 15 staring Cruz Tello and company in the face.
Got to be smart with the football here, D. Hanson.
Try to get a first down, but not by turning it over if you have to. Man in motion now. Ball hand snap is behind Tello, and he is going to try to get out of it. Cannot, and he will be stopped and dropped all the way back at his own 2-yard line. So if there's going to be some level of a snafu on the snap, that was the worst time for it to happen.
Yes, and again, after that unfortunate late hit penalty, but we just started slipping backwards, and right there, that wasn't on Cruz Tello. He was ready for the snap. It just was to his right more than usual, where you can't even catch and get back into the groove. And now the punter standing on his own end line in the end zone.
Look at Polito all the way back and does not have the customary amount of room you would need on the snap back. Now a timeout taken on the field once again by...
Not sure what this is.
That's the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. Well, why don't you look up the clock, D? That would actually be helpful. So the end of the first quarter is here. Bowie Bulldogs will have a lot of thinking to do on a 4th and 29, punting it from their back end of their own end zone. Up 7-0 though against Vista Ridge. Second quarter coming up here from Burger Stadium. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
The only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's, because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Most injury attorneys these days are characters, all promising to get you a big check easily and quickly. The truth is, when handled well, an injury case is not easy and they take time. You shouldn't pick an attorney because of their gimmicks. You should pick an attorney because they have experience and resources to get you and your family the best outcome. A serious injury requires a serious attorney. At the Carlson Law Firm, we're not characters, we're attorneys with character.
CarlsonAttorneys.com. We care, we can help.
Are you looking for high-quality, compassionate health care for your aging parent or grandparent? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. We offer a variety of home health and hospice care services, all administered in the comfort of home. Our skilled, knowledgeable nurses and therapists help your loved ones recover and manage their conditions. And in most cases, our services are 100% covered by Medicare. We're a local female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit RC Home Health.
Steve Foster. Well, on the Vype Live Network, just starting out the second quarter of play here in South Austin, where the Bowie Bulldogs have a 7-0 lead against the Vista Ridge Rangers, but in bad shape right now, putting out back into their own end zone. Here's the snap back of Polito. He just gets it away. High end over end kick, though, will be caught at the 39-yard line of the Bulldogs, and here comes the return. Up left-hand side, inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Number 4.
On a reasonably well-covered play, though, by the special teams for the Bulldogs, Cade Nathman with the return on the near side sideline. While the Rangers in business, now nearing the red zone already, and a 1st and 10 coming up.
Yeah, this is the great best field position that Vista Ridge has had, and right now, from the Bowie 30, they've got to figure a way to get some points on the board, D. This one almost is a gift.
James Hester has yet to really get in the mix here for the Rangers. He was one of the big targets for the Rangers last year. Second team all-district wide receiver / tight end at a 6'4", 205. Big target here for Arnaud, but he has not really been able to get into the mix. 357 yards and 2 touchdowns last season. We'll see if he will get going. Tanner Brosi, another good wideout for the Rangers, unable to make it and play in this game. We don't know what it's due to, so I'm not going to speculate, but he is not playing tonight. 1st and 10 going right to left at that 30-yard line where they're going to mark it. Near side sideline. Arnaud with gains to his left. Man in motion now coming right to left. Play action. Throw out middle of the field. Wide open and overthrowing the intended receiver. Flag flies, though, late at the end of that play. The pass intended for Jake Pando. We'll see if we call it against Bowie.
I don't understand defensive holding because there was so many white jerseys open. I don't know if anybody held them, but again, there is a flag on the field at about the 7-yard line, D.
Braylon Thomas is pointing all over the place and not understanding where this penalty comes from. Here's Stormy Johnson holding. Bowie. Another big holding call against the Bowie defense will keep this Rangers offense moving closer to the end zone. Now the ball at the 20-yard line.
And again, like I said, it had to be a quick hold because it looked like all the Ranger receivers were open in the secondary. That ball just needed a little air under it.
Gaines now the lone back out of the pistol here with Arnaud. Will get the handoff, trying to find room right, and will not find anything. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he won't go anywhere.
Just to the line of scrimmage.
It is a swarm of black jerseys in the interior of that line. Offensive front here for Vista Ridge. Nothing to sneeze at. They got some bodies up front. They are not able to move those black jerseys anywhere.
No, and you mentioned that these defenders and a lot of this team weren't starters. They did get playing time, though, D.
Yeah. Gibson, Colin Rice especially.
Yes.
Here is a fling out left corner of the end zone, bobbled around and intercepted in the end zone and bringing it back out of the 5, 10, 15, 20 right-hand side near the 20, and a huge, not only defensive stop, but turnover to keep the Rangers from getting into the end zone. Braylon Thomas in the right place at the right time. He had an interception last year, one all season long. He already has one in the first half to start out this season to save the Bowie Bulldogs from giving up a score here in the first half.
Yes, but we got to credit Isaiah Mims, the corner who was called for holding, had great inside position to bat the ball away to his teammate, as you mentioned, number 8, Braylon Thomas, who on the tip drill brings the ball back 18-plus yards out of the end zone for a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
10:57, early stages of the second quarter, and a huge play in this game. Now flags fly once again. This Bowie offense is also now showing some chemistry issues It'll be a false start against the Bulldogs.
Everybody's so geeked up, ready to go. I have a real opponent. It's week 1 or week 0, however you want to say it in Texas. You just play the games, but it's the first one. And it is exciting. And when you're an offensive lineman and you want to get a push on your opponent that's not in practice, you're getting just a bit ahead of the snap count, and that's why you see these penalties.
Yeah. Transferring that energy on defense, not quite as worrisome as offense. Fling out left-hand side is caught at the far side sideline, but really trying to find some space for playmakers is not happening. That ball took a while to get over to Carmine Eli, and that'll bring up a second and actually a loss on the play. Actually, the catch by Matthew Martinez.
And he's played.
Second and 11.
Yeah, he's played last season. So you don't have starters, but you have student athletes and experience, and I think that's going to...
He had 2 catches for 5 yards last year, but he played and knows he understands the process.
That's right.
Trips right-hand side, keeper Bitello, ranges left-hand side at the 20, 25. I thought we'd see a lot more of this, and he bowls his way past the 30, and he'll get near the 31-yard line. I think they're going to mark him there. Let's see, the near side head linesman has him there, but they're going to move him up. I think they should the 33-yard line.
So there's been some discrepancies between
first down, by the way.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And a little breathing room, D.
Yes. And I expected a little bit more of that here from Cruz Tello. Offset eye, right-hand side. Handoff goes out to the right-hand side, and now nowhere to go, and about a loss of a yard on the play there is you had Brandon Thomas unable to find any room. He was one of the more ballyhooed runners from the back end of last year, the way he was able to run the football. And now a lot of expectations, high expectations for him this season going in, but he loses about 3.
Yeah, got to get a push on the offensive side of the ball. Both defensive lines doing extremely well here in the first half.
Well, this is a 4-2-5 that Coach Chad Scott employs, and that front 4 is very good. Bring out left-hand side, it's caught. That is Carmine Eli this time, far side sideline. Lowers the right shoulder. He'll get around the 38-yard line. Try to get to the 40. Shy of the first down and bring up about 3rd and 5 or 6 to go.
So you can run that play to the near sideline. Again, what it does is these quick outs get the ball into the receiver's hands with relative ease. You don't get the benefit of the push by the defense, and then you let your receiver be athletic.
Craddock Bull Martinez trips right-hand side, and Carmine Eli out left. This is a short side of the field. Tello throws out right-hand side and incomplete over the back on the play as Martinez tried to catch that football. He felt like there might have been some interference, but does not get the flag. That'll bring up 4th and 5 here for the Bulldogs. But still a great save for the defense to keep the Rangers out of the end zone.
Correct.
And still able to get some yards upfield to give your punter a chance to reverse field here.
Well, you don't have to stand on your own end line. And, a bad snap could be, 2 points and a safety. Right now, you're standing on your own 23. And you have a little momentum with about a lot of this second quarter to be played.
Now, the way this game's been going, though, I want my defense as close to the end zone as possible because of the way they're being able to make plays. They might score again.
Right.
Here's Polito with the punt, and it is not good. Hit off the right side of his foot. It barely gets to midfield. In fact, it doesn't even get there. It will stay in Bowie territory, and it will be down at around the 47-yard line at the Bulldogs, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers. Well, you are playing against some averages, Steve. You don't want to give the offense of your opposition, even though you're dominating on defense, too many chances.
Right at a short field.
With short fields.
That's right. But I tell you what's interesting there, that was the least amount of pressure on Bowie's punter, and probably not the best effort. He's done tremendously when there's been pressure in his face, and right now, got to count on the defense.
Arnaud with gains in the backfield out of the shotgun, play action, throw out left-hand side, caught, and this moving up is Hester finally, as he will get involved, but he didn't get involved much because he only gained a yard of the play to around the 46-yard line, and that brings up a 2nd and 9, and Coach Purdue all kinds of fired up with his defense, coaching the defensive linebackers as well.
Isaiah Mims up near side to us. Really good on the coverage. Not afraid to run with, as you mentioned, the all-district selection from Vista Ridge.
Mims, the defensive back for the corner, showing some good pressure. Here's a keeper and another run, and then hit right at the legs. Arnaud. That's where you want to go, is down low on runners, and Braylon Thomas with the stop out of the safety slot will bring up a 3rd and 4. It looked like Arnaud might gain a lot more out of it, and 5 is all he gains.
Well, I'll tell you, a great open field tackle, as you mentioned, by number 8, Braylon Thomas, and that probably stopped a possible first down on that play, and now 3rd and Vista Ridge going to take a timeout.
8:03 left here in the first half of play. Vista Ridge will take the first of the 3 that they have allotted. Bowie has 2 remaining. Ball on the 41-yard line of Bowie. 3rd and 4 coming up, and Bowie leading 7-0 against Vista Ridge here at Burger Stadium. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
McLean Family Dental is a proud supporter of Bowie football. Locally owned and operated by Dr. Deidre and Dr. James McLean. We are so excited to be celebrating over 10 years of providing compassionate, conservative, and comprehensive dental care for patients of all ages in Circle C, Shady Hollow, and Southwest Austin. From your friends and neighbors at McLean Family Dental, go Dogs!
Attention Bulldog fans! After tonight's game, grab a bite during Mighty Fine's 5th quarter at Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes. Mighty Fine is open late during every regular season Friday night Bowie high school game. So join us tonight as Mighty Fine celebrates another Bulldog win.
Third and 4 here for the Vista Ridge Rangers, down 7-0 at Bowie. 8:03 left in the second quarter of play. The 41-yard line of Bowie. All kinds of confusion here for Vista Ridge. As Gaines has gone back and forth, there's all kinds of motion too. Hester now will find his way out left-hand side. Another man in motion with 1 on the play clock. Here's a handoff left and trying to find room and not able to do so. Tracked down from behind is Murray, but that play seemed to be doomed from the get-go, and all kinds of confusion for the Rangers.
Well, they couldn't get set up being the Vista Ridge Rangers, and then this play took so long to develop coming near side, and again, Braylon Thomas coming from that safety position just reads this well. His cornerback near side turns the play in, and a tackle in the open field for no gain.
To a man, Braylon Thomas has lost weight during the course of last year to this year, but has used that to his advantage out of that free safety spot. He's essentially going in where Dub York was playing,
right,
and he is all over the field. Deep to receive is Carmine Eli. The bounce on the snap back and a rugby-style kick. Line driver is fielded at the 10-yard line. Going left-hand side of the far side of the field is Eli. Can't find much room, though. And all the disruptions there only get Carmine about 10 yards upfield of the 20-yard line. With 7:05 left here in the first half, it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldog offense that is looking for some level of consistency.
Yes, and again, I think that's going to come from a good push up front. That'll give Cruz Tello the opportunity, 1, to find timing, and 2, for he and his running backs to find some running lanes. It seems the receivers, they're going to get open, or at least their chances to catch this football, but the offensive line's got to do its job.
Not seeing the level of handing off the football. Not a lot of running to this point. Play action. Here's Tello, flings it out right-hand side. Caught in losing the football. Did he catch the football at first? We'll see, and they're going to mark it as a fumble and recovery for the Rangers. We'll see. No indication here from the officials yet. Conference continues. And now the conference will continue as they ask the players to back away. And they're going to review in their minds that Cole Craddock had the ball at all. They're going to say incomplete pass. And a big break here for the Bowie Bulldog offense.
You're absolutely correct.
Correct call. I'm just saying it's a break as well.
Absolutely, because that could have been a turnover and another short field for the Vista Ridge Rangers. However, I like the quick passing game that the Bulldogs are displaying, but you got to hold on to the ball once you catch it.
Trips right-hand side on a 2nd and 10, 1 out left, and Eli on his own island and press coverage and right-hand side as well. Here is a screen pass in the middle of the field and incomplete as the intended receiver fell down trying to come back on that football, and that was Joe Delmark. Delmark Jr., last year he was with Lake Travis, and now coming over to Bowie.
Well, Joe Delmark got too close to his offensive line and kind of got tangled up in the scrum. You have to give yourself...
Nope. Now, there's a penalty as well here against the Rangers, you can hear, and that will be automatic. It's second down, excuse me. It's not an automatic first down, but offsides here against the Rangers is a somewhat of a gift, makes it 2nd and 5.
Well, they lined up in the neutral zone there, D, and that's why I think they let the play continue as it was. But Joe Delmark has to get just a slight separation from that line. It was a good play to call that middle screen, but just give yourself a little room.
That's exactly the play they want to put Delmark in, though. And now here is a keeper by Cruz Tello, and he will get up to the 33-yard line for a first down carry of almost 8 yards on the play. And for the most part here for Bowie, the best plays on offense to this point have been Tello running the football.
You're absolutely right, because defense is coming up field so quickly and getting into the backfield, and if Cruz Tello can find a running lane, as you mentioned, he is a dual threat where he can definitely be a good rusher for this Bulldog offense.
Ball and Martinez out right-hand side, ball in the slot to the right-hand side. That's the long side of the field going left to right. Here's a play action. Here's Tello looking deep down the middle of the field, and Carmine Eli, the intended receiver, will be incomplete about 2 yards over his head at the 30-yard line of the Rangers. Incomplete pass on a 2nd and 10 makes it 3rd and 10. And now you see Bowie taking some shots down the field.
Well, I like that play. I think that was really good defensive coverage and some holding by the cornerback for Vista Ridge, which I think was Cade Nathman. And you got to do some of this because Carmine Eli will just run right by you.
Eli again up against Nathman, far side, sideline on their own here. And now a keeper again by Tello. I think that was a zone read too. And he wisely brings it back in on a 2nd and 10 for only 2 yards, though, up to his own 35-yard line. He'll bring up a 3rd and 8. The clock continues to run at 5:50 left in the second quarter.
And right there, this is 3rd and long. But I tell you, for 3rd and long, there's an opportunity here for Bowie to pull off a first down.
Trips right-hand side. One out left, and Eli again, and Nathman is not scared. He is right up on
I love it.
Carmine. Shotgun for Tello, snap back. He collects it, looks out Carmine's way, then throws it anyway, and then incomplete just off the right hand. A diving stab at it for Carmine Eli would have been a miraculous play. There's a flag all the way back where Tello got hit at the 30-yard line. We'll see if it's roughing the passer. If it is, it's 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Yeah, and that came in late from the referee.
Very late.
He looks at that quarterback position a lot.
Turn on the mic.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 51 in the defense. 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
So the gifts that Bowie was giving to the Rangers offense is coming in full circle here, as that hit obviously not necessary by Tyler Gilliland. This is a very good front four for Vista Ridge. In fact, I think Bowie's going to get a great test for their offensive line throughout the course of the year by being able to play in non-district against a very, as good of a front four as we're going to see for the majority of the season.
Well, they're athletic and they're very quick with size.
And Dees and Gilliland alone with Mitchell there as well. That is a formidable group, to say the least. 5:20 left here in the first half. Here's Tello again, left-hand side here. A run all the way around to the 41-yard line for a gain of 3 to 4 by Brandon Juice Thomas.
What I like about that run is that it's 4 yards, it's to the weak side, meaning that all the wide receivers are to the opposite side, the near side to us, which means if you can break that play, there's not many defenders on that far side of the field.
Trips right-hand side, Martinez, ball, and Carmine Eli, and a run by Tello, design no less. His initial forward progress, but the fact that he actually retreated back to try to find another lane caused him to lose a yard of play. And
you're going to have to find a way to get the ball downfield somehow.
You can feel that this Bowie offense is just trying to find some rhythm with their offense.
Yes.
That's going to be an ongoing, I think, situation for the next couple of games, considering how long these players have not played with each other.
Correct.
3rd and 7 coming up. Tello out of the shotgun again. Low snap back, and he'll throw it out right-hand side. Eli with some space, but he has nowhere to go. Swarmed, and he will lose about 5 on the play on the near side sideline. Credit the defense for the Rangers once again sniffing that one out. And usually when Eli will get in some level of space like that, he'll make something out of nothing, and that time he had nowhere to go.
No, because that ball was thrown too close to the line of scrimmage. So that means that, the Vista Ridge Rangers, all they had to do was pursue inside out, near side to us, and they just kind of corralled Carmine Eli. He just didn't have any running lanes to choose after he made the catch.
Yet another punt here for Polito. Back to receive is Cade Nathman. Polito gets away. High kick and causes Nathman to do the fair catch indication. And he will do so at around the 20. Spot the ball, please. I think the 25, but there you go. It's in between the 25 near the 26-yard line.
Good call.
Wow.
Well, they had to switch balls between Bowie's punt ball and Vista Ridge's offensive ball. But you're right. The spot was like yes, no, yes, no.
I still think they were kind of hit or miss on where that.
You see, I tried to help the Zebras out on that one.
3:07 left.
That's
in
unusual.
This first half. And Vista Ridge looking for something to get that goose egg off the board as they down 7-0, and a handoff to Gaines again, and he will be stopped and dropped. And they're going to say he's down, and he actually seemingly got out of everything and started scampering down the field. Braylon Thomas didn't lose. He just kept on going after him, but the whistle's finally blew.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're remembering that there was a late hit just in the last series by Vista Ridge, and if you see that knee go down, you don't want to hit that rusher and get that 15.
Gaines has seen almost all of the carries out of the backfield for the Rangers, and he'll get it again, and he'll find maybe 2 yards, 3 yards at most. And the defensive front continues to make the plays here for Bowie. That's Gary Gibson with the stop that time. And it'll bring about 3rd and 9 as no gain on the play.
Again, it sounds like a broken record here in the first half of this first game of the season, but both defensive lines have been very active and very good at stopping the run and not giving these rushers the lanes to run in for big yardage.
Okay. So Bowie has everybody within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, if not closer.
Right.
3rd and 9, clock runs at 1:50, counting down, play action. Here comes the pressure, flinging it away, well underthrow. You have all these receivers going straight down the field, nobody breaking back in, but Arnaud had no other alternative other than to get rid of that football or a bit of a sack back at his own 15-yard line. And they'll bring up another punt for the Rangers, and Carmine Eli will have probably a very good opportunity here to make a play.
Yes.
Can we just give some credit to the 2 punters in this game for the Rangers? Ducachette and then Polito have done their job here tonight for the most part.
They have not, except one time.
Well,
Colin
that
Rice.
was Ducachette's fault. That
No,
was
it
a
wasn't.
jailbreak. No, low snap back, just getting away is Ducachette, and a line driver. Carmine Eli drops it at one point, brings it back to the 30-yard line. catches it out to, or actually catches the edge out near sideline to the 35 to the 36-yard line, and that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs with 2 timeouts remaining.
Right.
They lead 7-0 at 1:33 left in the first half, looking for their first offensive touchdown of the season.
On the 36-yard line.
As the only score in this game has been a block punt by Colin Rice, who also picked up his own block and ran the ball into the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown, essentially, to make it 7-0 and a Sidaya Jabi extra point.
Scoop and score off the block punt.
Score, there you go.
I love it.
Here's Cruz Tello, a junior now. Low snap back again and a delayed handoff right-hand side. Catch that edge if you can. Stay up on your feet, young man. And it is Thomas able to at least get 2 yards out of that play. He had he broken one more tackle. He had it, but unable to do so. And again, very athletic front four, which is another key for the 4-2-5. It's TCU style defense. Here is Tello with lots of room on the left-hand side, and now he will throw it instead, and it'll be incomplete at around the 49-yard line on the far side sideline. And Tello, the longer he waited, the less opportunity he had of actually running the football, and so then he was kind of forced to throw. And Matthew Martinez, the intended receiver, is now slow to get up. Very slow, in fact, to the point where there's a stoppage play, and
I don't know if he's got a cramp.
Staff will come out.
Yeah.
Injured player on the field.
Well, and we've seen this. We saw this last year through about 3 games, Steve. And anybody that's been living under a rock would know, maybe not know, but aside from everybody else, this has been one of the hottest summers we've really encountered in quite a bit of time. So this team, Bowie, and I know a lot of other teams have done this as well, even if you don't have indoor facilities, have been practicing early. I mean 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
And then much later, maybe in the evening if you could fit it in. And surprisingly, at this age, this team actually likes it. They like the early start.
We had the early 6 a.m. We were in the desert, and it gets 9,800, but you have to hydrate. That you have to count on for yourself to do.
That part, and this was the, cramp bowl last year. Here is Tello again on a 3rd and about 8, and he gets out of a couple of tackles, and he finds the left side of the field, stays inbounds, and then he will go out of bounds, but not until he gains a lot more than he needed for a first down. Out of bounds at the Rangers' 42-yard line. Stops the clock. 43 seconds to go in the first half of play, and one of the bigger offensive plays of the evening for either side.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the great thing is he got out of bounds, so at least it stops the clock momentarily. Maybe you get an opportunity to get your kicking team out if you can get maybe 15 or 20 more yards.
Listen to you. Sidaya Jabi does have the leg. Here's a rollout right. Tello lobs it right sideline, wide open and caught! Craddock has it! Leads for the right pylon of the end zone. They're going to say he's out of bounds at around the 2-yard line. Cole Craddock, the junior tight end, wide open down the right sideline. First down and goal to go.
Yeah, nobody has said touchdown, so I don't understand why everybody's running into the end zone. You're going to get your team penalized for being on the field. Let's act like we've been here before, that none of the officiating crew raised their hands for a touchdown.
That's the key, though, dude.
Correction on the field. Ball carrier stepped out of the 2. First and goal at the 2.
By the way, they haven't been here before. That's the.
No, they've played. You're right. You're right. Maybe on this level, but they've played the game of football before. Yes, sir.
I don't mind them being easily excitable to this.
Oh, I love it. This is an excitable game.
By far, again, we had back-to-back best offensive plays of the evening here for Bowie. On a run by Tello, and then a deep bomb right inside to Craddock, and a timeout taken on the field by the Rangers. They have 1 remaining.
Right.
With Bowie knocking on the door, already up 7-0. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Most injury attorneys these days are characters, all promising to get you a big check easily and quickly. The truth is, when handled well, an injury case is not easy and they take time. You shouldn't pick an attorney because of their gimmicks. You should pick an attorney because they have experience and resources to get you and your family the best outcome. A serious injury requires a serious attorney. At the Carlson Law Firm, we're not characters, we're attorneys with character.
CarlsonAttorneys.com. We care, we can help.
Bulldogs back in business on the offensive side of the football. Timeout taken by the Rangers. They have one remaining, coming out of that here shortly with 35 seconds to go in the first half of play. Rangers the Bowie Bulldogs leading 7-0, but at the 2-yard line after a great look downfield, a wide open Cole Craddock by Cruz Tello.
Well, and now you mentioned the dual threat of your quarterback could get interesting in the play calling.
Defense might sneak in, causing those kind of issues again. Here's Tello with the keeper, and he will go nowhere. In fact, he'll be driven back for a loss on the play. And wrapping him up, Caden Nathman initially there by his knees.
Is there a penalty?
And we'll see. There seems to be a conference here by the officials that would indicate so. And there's an offsides call against Vista Ridge. Half the distance.
Dagan Mitchell. Dagan Mitchell is a sizable guy as a junior, number 34. Very active, and he's trying to get a jump on the snap count. I get it. There's only 6 feet of real estate to protect before Bowie puts a bigger number on the board. But D. Hansen, you can't be overzealous.
Mitchell, you mentioned him, 6'1", 220. You have now Carmine Eli near side. One receiver out far left-hand side, and Matthew Martinez. Melisaris now in motion. Keeper by Tello will go into the end zone. Touchdown Bulldogs with 9 seconds to go here in the half, as they now a double-digit lead on the Rangers.
Bulldogs, another touchdown.
And again, you mentioned the dual threat ability of Cruz Tello, and right there, fake it to Carmine Eli going right to left across the formation makes the defense consider maybe the jet sweep on the goal line, and then Cruz Tello just following a blocker and making a good cut into the end zone.
1-yard touchdown run by Tello, the first offensive score of the year here for the Bulldogs. Jobby with the extra point. Ryder Willie with the hold. It is up and good. 14-0, a lead here for Bowie with 9 seconds to go. We'll keep it here, as the Rangers will probably, as you can imagine, unless they get a sizable return on the kickoff, which I wouldn't imagine that Sam Miller would allow that, the special teams coordinator for Bowie, but nonetheless, the Rangers will go into the locker room down by 14 more than likely, and Bowie gets the ball to start out the second half of play. That's why that score was that much bigger here for the Bulldogs.
Right, because it's opportunity taken advantage of, and then you come back out to start the second half with another opportunity and momentum going in to the locker room.
We lost 38 seniors. A lot's been made about what did not return this year. Only 2 starters on both sides of the football. Garrett Gibson and Braylon Thomas on defense, and Justice Trumpler and Carmine Eli on the offensive side. But tonight it has been a defensive effort by both teams that has really been pronounced. And until that moment, the offenses had done nothing. And now we had a couple of plays, one run and then a pass. And that begs that the offense might end up, especially early, using Tello's legs to open up the passing game, because if you're going to have to come in on him to try to stop the run, maybe that will open things up in the back end.
Well, that's exactly what happened. You saw a great run to the far side, and Tello picking up the first down, as you mentioned, and then comes back with a nice play-action pass to Cole Craddock that gets the ball down inside the 5, and then with some more action, Carmine Eli coming across the formation, Cruz Tello takes the ball in from 1 yard out.
Vista Ridge predicted by Dave Campbell's Football Magazine to come in fourth in a stacked 25-6A. Vandergrift, Round Rock, Stony Point, no slouch as well. And a low kick is fielded at around the 27-yard line. When you fall down to your knees and catch it, it's dead by Grant Anderson. That's what ended up happening. And 9 seconds needed back on the clock. They took a second off the clock, as that was caught when he was on his knees, so no time should have effectively come off the clock. But Vista Ridge predicted to make the playoffs,
right,
as far as Dave Campbell's is concerned. And Bowie also predicted to come in fourth by Dave Campbell's. But there are other publications, Statesman being one of them as well, that had Johnson coming in as that fourth team, aside from Dripping Springs, Westlake, and Lake Travis here in 26-6A, based on the fact they have 15 returners coming from a pretty talented group from a year ago. So that will be another thing to watch as the season goes on. Wide open run, and then tripped up at the 31-yard line is Gaines. Cole James coming in and making the stop, and that will be the last play of the first half. Bowie Bulldogs get on the board first on a block punt by Colin Rice, who will go into the end zone for 6 to first quarter of play. That was your scoring. And then at the very end of the game, they bookend it with an offensive play of a 1-yard touchdown run by Cruz Tello. And that is the difference in this game thus far, with the Bowie Bulldogs leading 14-0. We'll come back and we'll review a little bit more of what happened here in the first half of play. And then we will take a gander at both bands here on Vype Live Network. Again, your halftime score here at Burger Stadium. The Bowie Bulldogs 14 and the Vista Ridge Rangers nothing. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Campus. Vype Campus brings our popular citywide media days right to your doorstep. As a Vype Campus client, we will work with you to help you take advantage of our unique campus model to build a unique experience for your school. From media day photo shoots of all your athletes to game day coverage, broadcasts and live streams, video and digital content, hype videos, the Vype U program, same day graphics, and of course your very own campus magazine, Vype Campus is truly whatever you want it to be. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out how to join Vype Campus today.
McLean Family Dental is a proud supporter of Bowie football. Locally owned and operated by Dr. Deidre and Dr. James McLean. We are so excited to be celebrating over 10 years of providing compassionate, conservative, and comprehensive dental care for patients of all ages in Circle C, Shady Hollow, and Southwest Austin. From your friends and neighbors at McLean Family Dental, go Dogs!
Nance Orthodontics is the premier office for your entire family's orthodontics needs. At Nance Orthodontics, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality dentistry in a fun and modern environment. We provide digital scan and x-rays for smile assessment, and because the AAO recommends seeing an orthodontist as early as age 7, we offer complimentary consultation for children and adults. Dr. Nance is an American Board of Orthodontics certified orthodontist, a Platinum Plus Invisalign provider, and we offer metal and clear braces as well. Located in the heart of Austin on South Lamar, Nance Orthodontics serves the surrounding neighborhoods of South Austin. Please visit nanceorthodontics.com for more details.
Most injury attorneys these days are characters, all promising to get you a big check easily and quickly. The truth is, when handled well, an injury case is not easy and they take time. You shouldn't pick an attorney because of their gimmicks. You should pick an attorney because they have experience and resources to get you and your family the best outcome. A serious injury requires a serious attorney. At the Carlson Law Firm, we're not characters, we're attorneys with character.
CarlsonAttorneys.com. We care, we can help.
Vista Ridge Rangers band out on the field here at Burger Stadium to take their stab at it. And, you know, the state of Texas has no shortage of participation in band championships, and both Vista Ridge and Bowie, a lot of kudos to them as they have been always in the mix when it comes to being competitive at the band level. And tonight has been the Bowie Bulldogs been rather competitive on the field, leading 14-0 here against the the Vista Ridge Rangers. Again, in opening games in the season history here for Bowie, just dating back to 2004, they're 10-9 and to still start out the season. And they won the last 2 and 7 of their last 8. The majority of that coming against Pflugerville. They won 5 straight before the pandemic hit in 2020, where they took at Stony Point in October. That was the first game of the year, October 1st. And Stony Point won that one by 3, 30-27. And then Vista has been the opponent here for Bowie. Both of those games, though, played at Gupton. And it was Bowie able to win 17-7 and 27-7 last year. The 27-7 score so misleading, as that game was 14-7 throughout almost the entire game up and through the fourth quarter, and then Bowie really turned it on. But Bowie has not been always this proficient at winning opening games in the season. In fact, when you go back to 2004, they lost their first 5. First 4 against a very good Round Rock squad. And then, to cap it off, at Vista Ridge, they lost 30-28 in 2008. And that's when 2008 rolled around, that's when we started playing more games in the start of the late August play. So that is kind of a quick history of opening games to start out the season. And most recently, Bowie has been very, very good when it comes to that. Quick recap of what's been going on here with the Bowie scoring, and that's what it is total, because they've done all the scoring so far in this game. To look at it, it was a block kick by Colin Rice, fumble recovery, and the second turnover forced by Bowie's defense. And he was able to block the punt and recover it to go in for the 6, make it 7-0. And then in the second quarter, Vista Ridge did have a tip ball in the end zone. They were knocking on the door, had an excellent shot at getting their first score of the game. If they did not get into the end zone, they had a chance at maybe a field goal as well. That went by the wayside as Braylon Thomas was in the right place at the right time after a tip ball by Mims. And in the end zone, Thomas elected to bring the ball out, which I like the aggressiveness, and you're not going to have anything else from Braylon Thomas. He's going to continue to do that, and that's what kind of makes him what he is in the back end of that defense, which is very good. And that not only stopped the scoring capabilities there, but also gave some breathing room for Bowie, able to string a couple of good plays on offense to get out of the back end of their own end zone and punt it away. And then Bowie able to, on the last offensive series that they had, at the end of the first half, got a advantageous scramble by Cruz Tello, and then a bomb down the right sideline to Craddock, got down to the 2-yard line. Tello eventually with a 1-yard run into the end zone to cap the scoring here tonight, and that's where Bowie sits up 14-0, when they will also now start out the game. Start out the second half, getting the football kicked to them.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned as that one offensive score occurred, you saw running and passing, where Costello not only making the most with his legs, but then coming back and finding a wide open receiver because of the running and rushing abilities finally of the offense. It loosened up the defense they were pursuing, and Cruz Tello did a great job to put some air under the ball, as you mentioned, to Cole Craddock, and then punched it in from 2 yards using some motion with Eli. So yeah, great offensive series for Bowie.
Bowie, and we kind of chronicled a little bit how they've been in opening games during the course of the season, and kind of took notion also in their non-district games, Steve.
Yes.
And looked at their last 5 years of non-district games, and they have now outscored their opponents by an average of 20 points per game in the last 5 years. So this seems to be a Bowie squad that is ready to start out the season when it comes down to it. And it's like they have not had the level of competition you'd like to see to start out the year as well.
No, you're talking about people who have the opportunity to make the playoffs in other districts.
Cedar Ridge,
exactly.
Also, I mean, Pflugerville, we've already talked about them. Madison.
What you have is a coaching staff that is willing to put the team on the line early and often against quality opponents, so that when you get into a district that's probably one of the best in the state of Texas, it's got to be in the top 3, that you can say, listen, we played against competition that allows us to compete for one of those 4 spots now, even given the addition of Dripping Springs.
I found myself doing something that I think is unfair to a team that comes after another team. So if you have a good season, let's say 2 years ago, the team obviously went to regionals and won 10 games. Last year, won every game that you expected them to, and lost maybe the ones you expected them to as well. And that level of consistency still projected as a game that went against Vandergrift in my district of all games.
Right.
Went toe-to-toe, and for a large portion of that game was relatively close.
Well, and
considering
I think
you're taking on the runner-up in the state championship.
Right. And, a couple plays go the way of the Bulldogs, it could have been an upset.
So my point is that the only thing that I went in going into this season is I don't want to compare this group to last year's team and keep on doing that, because that's unfair to that group. They're their own team to the most part.
They
but
are.
The only thing that I brought out in my open was this team, and what I've gathered from conversations with the coaching staff is they have adopted the same level of commitment to understanding how to win by listening to those that played before them that the 2022 team did when they first took the field after the 2021 team did so well.
Right. Yeah.
And so this team absorbed and did their best as well, and that is going to take some time considering how inexperienced they are, but we're seeing some things still manifest themselves on the field, especially on the defensive side of the football, that makes you feel good.
Remember, and we've talked about this the last 3-4 seasons, the defense of Bowie, to me, as good as we've seen Max Barnes now playing on the next level and other rushers, the defense is really going to rule the day when it comes to how far this team is going to go, because when you have the ability to make the stops like Bowie can get, turning away an opponent inside the red zone, taking the ball away, Braylon Thomas coming out of the end zone to return it, blocked punts on special teams. Those are the points, the hidden points that you get, and actually the obvious points in the scoop and score on the block that will get this team over the hump throughout the season collectively.
9 starters that were seniors last year, not involved with this group anymore for the defense. You're talking about first-teamers like Gall and Bram and York, Jankowski, second-teamer, Danaher, second-teamer, Luck, who came in strong, as I mentioned him before, midway through the season also. You're talking about 22.5 sacks of the 35 that they had last year, no longer on the team. 4 forced fumble recoveries as well, 19 turnovers total for a team. This team gave up under 20 points per game all year long. It was one of the better defenses that we've seen in Bowie for a little bit of time. And now this group is, though, looking pretty darn good. But I guess I'm mentioning the team prior to the next season because we're seeing a Colin Rice acting like a Jankowski. We're seeing a Braylon Thomas pick up the reins from a Dub York. They're their own guys, but they're in positions that are key in a 3-3 stack, and they're performing so far tonight.
If Garrett Gibson, who did get some reputable starts, if he can get his enthusiasm to permeate through that defense, along with these newcomers that had some playing time and experience, this team can gel on defense, as you mentioned. And just from my former playing perspective, I didn't have issue attempting to step into big shoes from people that had left the campus because we wanted and we felt that we had an opportunity to play as well as them.
Quick rundown of the top 10 in the state of Texas. Duncanville coming in. The Panthers, they will take on South Oak Cliff there in the Golden Bears later on, Galena Park North Shore. It's all really the same 10 that you would normally see for the most part. DeSoto coming in at 3, Westlake at 4, Katy 5. Things get shaken up a bit towards the middle portion at Spring Westfield. Vandergrift coming in at 7. South Lake Carroll, we see them all the time. Dayton Geyer and Humble Atiscasada also coming in. And 31 state titles collectively on these 10 schools. So same song, different first for the most part for a lot of these teams.
Yes.
But no Lake Travis.
But you have to point out.
Or Dripping Springs.
Number 8, playing against my alma mater.
Oh.
The Eastwood
Rockwall
Troopers.
Heath Hawks.
No. Number 8.
Number 8, I'm sorry. El Paso Eastwood Troopers.
There you go.
I was going to ask you, actually, I was going to cover that up and tell me what their mascot was to see if you knew it. Really quickly, games that are going on tomorrow. Anderson's taking on McCallum tonight. Number 4, Westlake will take on Ridge Point Panthers in Missouri City, that at Edward Mercer Stadium. Johnson will be at Clark, San Antonio, and Gustafson take on the Cougars. Number 7, Vandergrift at Dripping Springs. Arlington, you have Martin, Lake Travis. We're accustomed to that. That was a great game last year.
Yes.
Stony Point at Austin Hyatt House. Del Valle and McNeil, some up-and-comers that are usually towards the bottom of their district. There's a lot of talk about that one. Now at Dragon, and then Hayes will take on Aikens here tomorrow night between those two. And that rounds out your schedule for 26-6A and everybody that is in action. We are going to go ahead and throw it to the band. Bowie out on the field. They've worked hard. You should watch them. Again, our halftime score, Bowie 14, Vista Ridge nothing. Bowie will receive the ball to start out the second half of play. About 13 minutes to go before we start out that second half, but here is the Bowie Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the James Bowie Silver Stars. Please join me in welcoming to the field the award-winning and nationally acclaimed James Bowie Outdoor Performing Ensemble. The Bowie Outdoor Performing Ensemble is under the field direction of drum majors Catherine Leone, Olivia Hernandez, and Sophie Thallander. Tonight, we will be featuring our 2023 marching production entitled The Shapes of My Heart. We will be performing 2 movements of our show. The musical selections will include original music by Kevin Shaw and Celestial Night by Richard Danielpool. Music arrangements by Kevin Shaw. Drill design by Matt Hartwell. Show coordination and design by Reed Atkinson and Rick Subel. Ladies and gentlemen, the James Bowie High School Outdoor Performing Ensemble. The Bowie Band is under the direction of Jennifer Hanford, Tyler Jacks, Joshua Bayou, Reed Paxton, and Daniel Riley. The section of the week is the Color Guard. Your teamwork and drive to be excellent is inspiring. Thank you for your hard work. The Bowie Band would like to thank a few of our sponsors for their continued support. Thank you to the UPS store at Circle C and Ironclad Consulting Services. Ladies and gentlemen, the James Bowie Outdoor Performing Ensemble.
looking for high-quality, compassionate health care for your aging parent or grandparent? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. We offer a variety of home health and hospice care services, all administered in the comfort of home. Our skilled, knowledgeable nurses and therapists help your loved ones recover and manage their conditions. And in most cases, our services are 100% covered by Medicare. We're a local female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
At the Armstrong Community Music School, we teach, explore, perform, and celebrate music by offering lessons and classes for all ages and skill levels. We've been proudly serving the Austin community for over 23 years. To learn more, visit acmsaustin.org or call 512-474-2331. We value you and your joyful lifelong journey of creative expression.
At Circle C Orthodontics, Dr. Fidel Del Toro and Dr. Jonathan Kimes love making beautiful, healthy smiles. Utilizing the latest advances in technology and techniques, the team at Circle C Ortho can help you look better and feel better too. Their practice philosophy focuses on patient-centered, personalized care. They take the time to get to know you as a person, not just a set of teeth or braces. Circle C Orthodontics, no referral needed, all insurance plans welcome, and affordable payment options available. More information at austin-braces.com, 512-394-0930.
Do you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs health care at home? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. Our skilled, compassionate healthcare staff treats patients right where they want to be, in the comfort of their home. Robinson Creek offers personalized programs including cardiac care, wound care, diabetes and medication management, orthopedic care and therapy, as well as hospice care. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
The Vista Ridge Rangers.
Vista Ridge Rangers coming back out onto the field. Got dry ice going also to the right-hand side of the Vista Ridge inflatable. Side of the end. So V-Hits joined by Steve Foster about a minute out before we start out the second half of play. The Bowie Bulldogs playing host to the Vista Ridge Rangers to start out the season here in the year 2023. And the Bulldogs now coming out of there. The Bulldog is chomping down. They got it moving up and down. On our right-hand side once again also. And cheerleaders ready to let out the Bulldog.
Bowie Bulldog.
The Bowie Bulldog team as they come out now onto the field. About 95 degrees, again, no real wind to speak of. It's hot and the humidity about 33%, but I'm actually kind of shocked, Steve, by the level of lack of cramps that we've seen in this game comparatively to the last few years that we've seen.
They probably learned that they needed to hydrate throughout the day and especially the day before. It makes a difference. It makes a huge difference.
You think?
Yes.
I agree. Bowie again in their black tops and the gray pants, the gray letters numbers in red trim and the black helmets. Vista Ridge in as close as they can get to the Stormtrooper outfits. They are solid white top to bottom.
20 at halftime.
Red helmets. Rangers on the side. Script. Red script. And the red letters numbers. And you have two stripes down each side of the pant legs also in red. Is that enough?
That is as descriptive, sir, as you can get. I tell you what, the other descriptions that you've mentioned about how the defense and offense has played the special teams to get this 14-0 lead by the Bowie Bulldogs. You mentioned an experienced team, but not one that has a bunch of returning starters. But there is depth, and there are key people that are, I think, bringing the rest of the troops along. You said Stormtroopers. Well, these Bulldogs are playing extremely well and keeping the Stormtroopers off the board.
And number 30.
Rangers had one major instance where they had an opportunity to score, and that was taken away from them quite literally by Braylon Thomas on an interception in the end zone, who returned it out. Kickoff now coming up from right to left. Bowie won the kickoff, elected to defer. Here's clearance DePerrine, who will get it away, and they'll go out the back end of the end zone. Hits it around the end of the block letters of Austin ISD in the end zone. And that will be a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 25-yard line, going from west to east here in the third quarter play, leading 14-0. Next up for Vista Ridge will be Georgetown. They'll host the Eagles out of 5 Division I. And Bowie will travel to take on the Cedar Ridge Raiders. That at Kelly Reeves. Raiders went 5-6 last year. Got the playoffs. Lost to Westlake. Big. Here's a handoff to start out this third quarter of play. Right-hand side. And it is Kaysen Mathabel out of St. Michael's, who transferred. The junior doesn't find much, maybe a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Bulldogs, who will start again. Cruz Tello at quarterback. Brandon Thomas at running back. Owen Ball, Matthew Martinez, Cole Craddock, and Carmine Eli are your wideouts. Play action, roll out left-hand side. Here's Tello. Massive trouble. He'll throw it out right and incomplete. Short hops his intended receiver, Mathabel. And a flag is also thrown on the play, which could be a holding call against the Bulldogs, and that was not what you want to see on offense.
No, and this play, again, because of the pursuit of the defensive line for the Vista Ridge Rangers, they're really disrupting this offensive attack of Bowie.
Number 58. A penalty decline. Brings up 3rd down.
Decline on the hold. Again, we'll make it 3rd and 9 as Coach Chad Scott, in his 3rd year as the head man at Vista Ridge, will elect to take the down loss.
Here's why I might not have done that. Because if you could push Bowie's punter back towards his own end line with the 10-yard penalty and you'd be inside the 15.
Battle of field position all night long for the most part.
That's right.
I don't know if I completely disagree with that. Here's 3rd and 9, and now flags will fly again on a procedural call against the Bulldogs, more than likely.
It is. It is my trumpet player, Cedric Walls.
This is a offensive line that starts 4 juniors amongst 5. So you do have the returner and left tackle and Justice Trumpler, 6'3", 255. I think he's shaping up for at least a all-district mention in some capacity. But then you have juniors across the board. Quite frankly, I'm kind of pleased by the level of lack of penalties we've seen so far.
Yeah, but right there, you just got to let the ball get snapped first.
3rd and 14 now. Here's Tello again in trouble against the grain. He'll throw and it'll be incomplete. I think he was trying to hit Owen Ball at around the 32-yard line. But I think that it was, I don't know if he meant to do it. But it was short because there were about 2 or 3 white jerseys around that vicinity too.
Yes, and you had a Cruz Tello running to his left, trying to throw back to his right. And you can't do that without an extremely strong arm because the physics doesn't work for you.
That's been back to receive. All-out punt block situation here for the Rangers, and they almost got it. Nathman does fair catch it at his own 47-yard line, and Polito just got that away. And now you can see that both teams know how close this is being called, and they're going to go after it in every capacity, including special teams. There is a flag on the play. We'll see if this affects anything.
Maybe offsides, but here's the thing. You probably just tack it off the end of the punt.
Illegal formation. Kicking team, 5 in the backfield. 5 yards. Kick. 1st down.
No re-kick, but you went to go. Yeah, you got to go the other way, Mr. Umpire. From the spot.
If you called it against Bowie, it should not go.
Understood.
There we go. I'm sorry.
Okay, give me 5 this way.
Now, where did I do it again? Okay, there we go.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so now the ball is in Bowie territory. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line, and the Rangers will have it 1st and 10, their first offensive series. As Jackson Arnaud has had a very hard time getting on track in this game through the air, especially you can tell that they're trying to get Josan Gaines involved by handing the ball off to him routinely. He's not in the mix right now. And in motion going up from right to left. Back is Arnaud. And then a screen out right-hand side is caught at midfield. 45-40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and then upended everything around the 2-yard line. They're going to say touchdown. Touchdown Rangers. Sidearm action on a screen pass out right-hand side. J.D. Jackson takes it the distance for a score. And I'm slightly surprised that that was not down at the 2-yard line.
Well, you're absolutely right, because the flip occurred. It looked like the elbow may have come down when the ball was coming down, but you can't
throw the challenge flag. Abel's, come on. Where's the red flag? Here's the extra point. DePerine with the extra point. It is up, and it is good. This is now shaping up to be much more of a ball game than the Bulldogs had intended. Vista Ridge getting a big-time explosive play, as Mac Brown used to call them, getting 7 on the board to climb within 7 of the Bulldogs. 14-7 the lead for Bowie, shaved down. 10:56, still a lot of time left in this second half of play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Are you looking for high-quality, compassionate health care for your aging parent or grandparent? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. We offer a variety of home health and hospice care services, all administered in the comfort of home. Our skilled, knowledgeable nurses and therapists help your loved ones recover and manage their conditions. And in most cases, our services are 100% covered by Medicare. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
Oh, well, now things got that much more interesting here at Burger Stadium, as finally the Vista Ridge Rangers are on the board here in the start out the second half. Their first offensive series here in the third quarter of play.
Yes.
A 48-yard touchdown pass from Arnaud to Jackson. Have Vista Ridge within 7 of Bowie. 14-7, 10:56 left in the third quarter of play. Bowie received the ball to start out this second half, unable to make anything happen. The Rangers capitalize and get the ball and go down the field on a big-time play to Jackson, the junior.
And he put the pedal down and motored.
Oh, man. Once he got rolling downfield, he was really scooting. Here is a line drive kick fielded at the 3-yard line, brought up by Carmine Eli. He reverses field all the way across to the 20-yard line. That's as far as he'll go. They'll get him up to the 20-yard line, and now you can feel Uncle Mo changing a bit here. There's a little bit of extracurriculars on the far side of the field at the end of that. And you can feel like the Rangers are, their heads are back into this, and maybe Jackson Arnaud might gain some confidence, as uneasy of a play as a screen can make it here for a quarterback, again, that is unproven.
Well, I love the screen pass because it sets up your blockers and your running lanes all at once. It really does a lot for a running back or whoever catches the screen if it's successful.
And that pursuit of the defense, also a big part of that, and we've seen that both sides have been in the backfield quickly, and that's a good way to neutralize. Timeout taken on the field by the Rangers. Here in the second half of play, in a close game, they now only have 2 remaining. We'll take it with them. 10:48 left in the third quarter. Bowie holding on to a 14-7 lead against Vista Ridge. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
At the Armstrong Community Music School, we teach, explore, perform, and celebrate music by offering lessons and classes for all ages and skill levels. We've been proudly serving the Austin community for over 23 years. To learn more, visit acmsaustin.org or call 512-474-2331. We value you and your joyful lifelong journey of creative expression.
Bowie's offense now will be called upon to try to reverse a trend that is not what the Bulldogs want to see out here, and that's the Rangers of Vista Ridge grabbing on to a bit of momentum here. They got a stop to start out the third quarter of play, did Vista Ridge, and then their offense capitalized, getting a touchdown on the board. Bowie still leads, though, 14-7, but you can feel like there's a bit of a tipping of the scales, and now it'll be up to Cruz Tello to try to, out of the timeout by Vista Ridge, to change that trend. Trips to the right-hand side, one left-hand side, handoff goes up the middle. This is Thomas, Brandon Thomas gets a yard maybe at the 21-yard line. Both teams are having a hard time both on the interior, and whenever they try to go on the edge, you do know that the speed happens to be there as well. So the front 6 or 7 are doing the job here for both the Bulldogs and the Rangers.
They are. Because you're getting the push. It's more so the push than anything else because it's disruptive.
2nd and 9. Trips right-hand side, one left. Now roll out by Tello. Blocking is good and throws in the back shoulder of Carmine Eli to the 25-yard line. And he is a bit ginger to get up and favoring his left leg. I don't know if it's a cramp or not. He'll come off the field. And a huge and important 3rd down and 5 coming up here for Bowie. And another player down also at the 20-yard line. And I think there's going to be some cramping now coming in.
Well, you talked about it.
It's eventually going to happen. Yeah, and you can see on the near side sideline that you have Carmine Eli. He's actually having trainers help him stretch out his left leg.
And I can't really say anything because it happened to me. And I recognize you got to be hydrated. You got to drink that water. You got to get the electrolytes. You know, all this stuff is part of the preparation. This has been an unprecedented 3 months. 2 months of just heat, excessive heat, and you're carrying 20 pounds of equipment running 15 plus miles an hour. It's going to happen. You're right.
It's hard to replenish that quickly compared to what you're actually dispensing.
Exactly.
And that's the right tackle, Chance Coburn, that's down on the ground, and again clearly battling cramps as well. So we don't see anything tantamount here as far as anybody not being able to play in the game between both Carmine Eli and Coburn. But they'll have to come out of the game for this particular play, which is a big one in this game so far, Steve. A 3rd and 5 at their own 25-yard line for Bowie at 9:49 left in the third quarter. I mean, there's a lot of time left, and I'm not trying to make too much more out of it, but how big would it be for the Bulldogs to get just a first down here to keep the drive going and
you got to
get the defense at least some breather as well.
You're right. You got to love the coverage near side. Like
man in motion now, and now there'll be flags thrown. We're going to have illegal procedure here against Bowie on a 3rd and 5.
And again, hurt by the offensive line.
Oh man, that hurt. Delmark was in motion out left, and I don't know if they're going to have 2 men in motion.
Yeah, Cedric Walls, you moved. I could see it here. Once you put that hand on the turf, you got to stay set.
That's it.
And a lot of times, defensive line, they move and slide to the left, and they try to get you to jump. It's a very deceptive move, but it gets a lot of people to jump on the offensive line. That's why you got to just remember the snap count. Trust in your technique. We're
going to pick it up.
Well,
we'll see. We have not gotten an official explanation here from Stormer Johnson. Now we will.
Here we go.
Disconcerting signals. Defense.
So trying to throw the offense off by exactly.
It's in different things like that.
Can't do that.
No.
And a first down.
And that is going to keep this drive going, though, based on downs. So it's first down. Ball we placed 5 yards upfield to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, and Vista Ridge has to know, listen, they're playing well enough up front that they don't have to do deceptive play calling.
Delmark in motion out left-hand side, play action. Here's Tello going deep down the middle of the field. Wide open and incomplete, about a yard ahead of his intended receiver. Oh my, wide open was Matthew Martinez. Couldn't catch up to it. That's a relatively good ball, just a little bit more air underneath it. I think Martinez again is also kind of favoring his leg and trying to make sure he doesn't cramp up.
2nd and 10.
And 2nd and 10 coming, but that was a well done play call. And now a stoppage play.
Maybe
well executed, by the way, because Martinez stopped before he went out of bounds.
Right, so
to
it stops
get the
clock.
timeout. Stops the clock.
Stops the clock. But maybe if
the
he
clock
did,
was already stopped on the incomplete pass, but
right,
it still gives
the play
everybody
clock.
else
Yes.
time.
But the cramp that we see now being administered to at Matthew Martinez's behest, maybe he didn't get the stride and a half he needed because he was cramping on the way.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate.
Exactly what happened.
Because I think Cruz Tello threw the ball exactly where he wanted to. I think that was, you wanted it out in front of your guy to run under, and you said a little more air. But we've seen Carmine Eli, now Matthew Martinez, 2 wideouts that have been running excessively. Now here in the second half, the hydration.
So with Bowie in this particular drive, eating up a lot of real time, I'm not talking about play time on the clock, is akin to, in my mind, a little bit, especially if you're struggling or trying to get back into a game to a certain degree, when a batter continues to get out of the batter's box and then comes back in, when you could do that still. And it's not intentional like it is in baseball, but that it takes a little bit of the continuity of the game out. Here's a handoff, Carmine Eli, and again, he tried to find the edge and then break it back in after the fact, but he could not find any room. And again, this hounding defense for the Rangers gets the job done, stops him for no gain on the play, and they'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
If you want to get Carmine Eli, you may have to do a reverse. You may have to hand the ball off to Braylon Thomas, or I should say Brandon Thomas, and have him come back around Carmine Eli and get the pursuit to work. It's like football judo.
You know how bad it is? Trainers are on the ground suffering cramps with other trainers helping them. Oh, what's happening? 3rd and 10, 8:44 left in the 3rd quarter, and the Bulldogs looking to get this offense going. Here's Tello again. He has nowhere to go. Here's Dees all over him. Throws it out right-hand side, and that will be incomplete.
And the Rangers put the pressure on.
Intended for Delmark. And I think that was better that it did not get completed, because that would have been loss of about 8 yards in the play.
Yeah, Delmark
and Dees
tried a little
almost
bit.
had the sack against Tello, and Tello just got it away before that ended up happening.
Delmark tried a little bit too hard to make that catch, because that would have been a loss of about 10 more yards. And as we've spoken to this fact throughout this broadcast this evening, the field position and these punters have been flipping the field consistently.
Nathman back at his own 35-yard line, Polito at his own 15, and you know the Rangers are coming after this one, and they are just getting away again. Polito. It is a sidewinder, and interesting that Thomas elected just to. He grabbed it at the 36-yard line. I thought that might have bounded a little bit more for the Bulldogs in their favor as far as field position, but nonetheless, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers, and they're only down now by 7. 8:25 left here in the 3rd quarter. 14-7 against the Bowie Bulldogs here at Burger Stadium.
Well, Polito needs to do a little bit of acting. Hold that leg out there when you get that close, and you might get either a running into the kicker or a roughing the kicker. He's doing a great job of getting the punt away and avoiding.
Oh, well, I mean, that's twice now that we saw the Rangers almost get there. Here's a flare out left-hand side, and it will be caught, but going nowhere, and then wrangled around and down. Will be Gaines. And this is going to be the gameplay here for the Rangers, as they had scored on a 48-yard touchdown pass on a screen.
Yes.
That time the Bulldogs said not this time.
Colin Rice coming from his left end position to clean up near side. It's a lot of body running very fast against an unprotected receiver.
Hester near side on the outside of the formation as Arnaud has gains to his left out of the shotgun. 2nd and 14. The flags fly. Here's Arnaud with the keeper, and he'll lean forward past the 35 to the 37-yard line near the original line of scrimmage. In fact, he'll get maybe a half-yard past that, and Arnaud is down and not moving at all. Now he'll get up. That was weird, and now he's fine.
That was, I don't know what that was.
Okay, well, everybody was panicked, and then he just waves them off. Okay, you know, don't do that to people. That's not very nice. No,
well, there was a flag. What about that?
A flag too.
What about that?
Well, the play was able to continue, so this might.
That was more like a football, like a soccer move, you know? It's just like, here we go.
Illegal formation on the offense.
Oh, interesting.
5 in the backfield. That would be decline.
Another decline to bring the down to third down. This one by Bowie this time.
3rd and 9, that's fair.
Well, that was exactly the same play deeper in their own territory.
Yes.
That the Rangers elected against Bowie when they were on offense.
Well, I'd run the screen. If I'm Vista Ridge, if something's
about
good.
The only thing that's worked for
yeah,
so
more is better. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the ball in the hand of J.D. Jackson again.
Well, Jackson is to the left of Arnaud now. Yeah. And Jackson will go in and stay as a blocker, and the pass is incomplete. Arnaud gets destroyed by Garrett Gibson at the very end of that play, and no flag thrown appropriately. Well, it's now 4th and 9.
The cap comes off of the official because the receiver was ridden out of bounds. So you have to reestablish yourself if you were going to be the first guy to come back in to the field of play and make the reception.
Yes.
So that's why the cap came off.
We did not know the cap came off.
I saw it.
Yeah. Well, you did, but nobody else knew.
Oh.
You have to tell them.
Okay, yes. Cap came off.
They're not seeing.
Cap came off.
4th and 9 here, and now flags fly again. This will be a penalty against the Rangers before that play even got going.
Procedure. And that'll move the Rangers back 5. I tell you, the guy.
Offense, number 4. 5 yards remains. 4th down.
Duchesquette tried to get that ball away and could not because he had to stop.
You want to look out for Colin Rice. He's the guy that has the Midas touch.
Both special teams are looking for a way to capitalize as both offenses are having a tough time. Here comes the kick. It's away again, and it's not a good one. In fact, it's angled out right-hand side and about 15 yards shy of where Carmine Eli was situated. It goes out of bounds on the far side sideline at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs in their own territory, but still nice, favorable territory to start out, going left to right, and we'll see if Cruz Tello and this offense can find some semblance of some chemistry and cadence.
Well, what I think you have to think about is the deep pass down the middle.
It's been there,
it's
been open.
That's right.
Trips right-hand side, that's the long side of the field. One left in Carmine Eli. And it will be a keeper by Tello. And he'll break it back in at the 45, and he'll get near the midfield area, around the 49-yard line is where the mark him. And I think that in a 7-yard gain by Tello, I might continue to do that for a long period of time.
Well, I like that on
that
first
down. That
down.
has not been stopped.
No, I like that on 1st down, too, because the defense has to play you even up. You could take a shot downfield with 2nd and relatively short, 2nd and 3, right here at midfield. This is where I like to take the shot. And you do have 2 downs to pick up 3 yards if you want to maintain possession.
Delmark and Mathabel in, and Delmark gets the carry. He goes upfield, past 50-yard line, and near the 1st down mark at the 48 of the Rangers, and that should move the chains. You know, that's the first real traditional 1st down I've seen Bowie convert here in this game. A couple of runs moving the chains. That is what we're accustomed to seeing from Bowie. That will also bring up a timeout.
These are the hydration breaks, I think, that we had the Whitecaps, Stormy
Bowie's
Johnson.
not taking them. by the way.
Well, see, that's when
they're like, go, out.
Well,
and both teams are doing it.
Again, don't be a hero. And I know these guys are teenagers, right? But it's for your own good.
Yeah, but the coaches are the ones telling him to go back out.
Yeah, well, the coaches aren't running around. They're not.
I know. I don't think anybody knows or thinks they're not. Bit of a
I'm just saying.
Set.
Water.
If you have the opportunity, you're saying take it.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes.
6:04 left here in the third quarter of play. Bowie leading 14-7, and this has been a drive that they needed. Nothing else to keep their defense off the field for a bit.
Well, 2 plays in the first down and 2 running plays.
It's first and 10 at the 48 of the Rangers. Here's a handoff right-hand side, trying to kick to the edge, going back inside. There's a hold on the call, or the play, as flags fly.
And the handoff to number 22, Joe
Delmark is unable to really find much room. They're going to mark it as a 2-yard gain to the 46, but they'll be wiped out on a holding call against
10 yards from the
Bowie.
spot. Remains first down.
I find it interesting that now, as the game goes on, we're seeing a lot more of that, a lot more holds.
Well,
what do you equate for a hold, aside from athleticism or maybe the general talent of the defense you're playing against? Is there any level of laziness or technique? Like, how do you?
I think
what do you
tonight
equate
is
to
heat.
a hold?
Heat.
Okay.
And again, it takes something out of you. You got to realize these guys are exerting themselves at full speed.
Trips right-hand side, and now it'll be a delayed draw, I believe, by Tello, and he won't go anywhere. They'll get to the 42, and which is the line of scrimmage now after the
Ridge Rangers defensive line pressures the quarterback.
Penalty. And so that'll bring up a 2nd and 20. Their own 42. Clock continues to run, though, at 5:12, and as this game becomes shorter, whoever has the lead, time is a premium considering how inefficient and
I like that. That's a good
the
word.
offenses are not doing what they need to do. So
Inefficient.
the more time that goes away, the less chance you have a chance. Now here's Brandon Thomas, spin move at the 47, gets to the 45-yard line. He's well shy of the first down and a 2nd and 20, but a lot gained after that last play, and a much more manageable 3rd down, around 7 to go.
Well, we saw a screen go for 48 yards for the Vista Ridge Rangers for a touchdown, that being by J.D. Jackson. So, you know, turnabout's fair play, and right there, a well-executed screen as Cruz Tello sucked in that good pursuing defensive line of Vista Ridge.
4 1-outs, 2 split to each side. Carmine Eli near side will get the call, and a bubble screen to him, and that will not get the job done. Ball comes loose. Nope, they're going to say down at the 41-yard line as the line judge. And we're sitting at a 4th down and around 4.5 to go here, nearly 5 yards for a first. You know, the way your defense is playing, they had some rest there. You might as well just punt it away, considering you're already in Rangers territory, and you might get some coffin corner action going in here from Polito. The only concern I have, Steve, is the last couple of series that the special teams Rangers have had have come very close to blocking the kick.
Yeah, you're right. And that has to be somewhat of a thought, but right now,
play the percentages.
Play the percentages.
Nathan back to receive. Here's Polito, high snap back. He has it, and then Abels comes. What is going on? Timeout. Timeout taken by Bowie. There was something going on the near side sideline that was really getting into the crawl of Sam Miller in his 20th year as a coach. He was not pleased at something, so he took the timeout. Bowie takes it. We'll keep it here. 3:22 left in the third quarter of play, and both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining in this second half of play. We'll see if that ends up being something that impacts the end of the game, considering how close it is.
Well,
timeouts generally do, though.
You know, you talked about Coach Miller. That was very different when you talk about kind of a routine special teams play where you're just trying to block long enough.
I'm telling you, something was distinct there. And you know what? But considering how close this game is and how one thing can possibly win you the game, you might see why that ended up being the case. We just will never know until we ask, because I didn't see it.
Well, and you took a timeout.
And you took a timeout. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
lot. Okay, Nathan is back to receive again, and the snap is back. Here's the punt. Angling a right-hand side, wobbling kick. Hits at the 27-yard line, goes out of bounds around there. I mean, that was not a deep kick at all. In fact, it'll be at the 29-yard line.
Every time there's been no pressure
29-yard line.
on.
Just kick it out of bounds, or just kick it into the end zone.
He has not had his best stuff. When they're bearing down on him, he's looking like a champ. And I just think, because sometimes you overthink the kick because you're doing well, you kind of miss that off to the side of your foot. And I think the 2 punts that have gone for the shortest distance is because of that.
3:15 left in this non-ending third quarter. Vista Ridge has the only score on the board, a 48-yard touchdown pass from Arnaud to Jackson on a screen. And now it will be the Rangers back on the offensive side of the football, and Gaines with maybe one of those best runs of the evening. It's about 5 yards up to the 33-yard line. Second down and 6 here for Vista Ridge. Now, if they're able to do that on a consistent basis, then it's a whole different approach.
It is.
And I'd imagine Vista Ridge will try that again. It might be the same play. I'm serious. Now they're going to try the edge, and here's Gaines, and he will gain it against Thomas. And Thomas, though still by him lunging at Gaines, is able to make Gaines go out of bounds. Still got a first down, but that could have been a huge gain on the play. And Braylon Thomas on the pursuit made that a lot less of a bad play for the defense.
Yes, and to the far side, if you can get that edge and turn that corner and make it a foot race, that's what you want. But I think you can also use the good running for a play action pass.
Pondo and Hester on the near side, and now because of confusion again on the offensive side of the football for the Rangers, they're going to have to take a timeout. And they have one remaining. 2:37 left here in the third quarter. 14-7, Bowie holding on again here against Vista Ridge, but the Rangers now moving the football on a 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line here at Burger Stadium. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. In fact, in just our area alone, the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation has granted more than $343,000 to local first responder heroes. That's why at Firehouse Subs they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. And their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. With Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go, it's never been easier to grab subs to go for you or your whole crew. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app, and they'll have your sub boxed, bagged, and ready to be picked up at our designated to-go areas. No line, no waiting. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
Okay, 2:37 left here in the third quarter play. Vista Ridge driving down 14-7. Here's Arnaud in trouble, and now he'll be brought down, and he throws the football away. I think he tried to have an incomplete pass here, but he should be down inside the 30-yard line.
You're absolutely correct. You see the Whitecaps, Stormy Johnson, pointing to the turf, and you're in fact correct, D. Hansen. That was a sack back to the 29-yard line of Vista Ridge. Great pursuit. I think that's our guy, number 62, Garrett Gibson, on a jailbreak, just pushing the offensive line back of Vista Ridge. And again, these defensive lines getting great pursuit.
Clock runs at under 2 to go here, 1:55 and counting down. 2nd and 21 after the sack on the end of that play. And now with 4 on the play clock, Arnaud back to pass. Here comes the pressure up the middle, and now he'll get rid of it again at around the 13-yard line. As he was nearly sacked once again, that by Michael Villarreal.
Yeah, the screen was
sprinting right through.
Yeah, and the screen was coming, so Michael Villarreal didn't have any resistance that he would normally have because the offensive line was sliding to the far side to set up J.D. Jackson.
That's intentional grounding, I think they're going to say.
Yeah, that's right.
So a flag was thrown at the very end of that one. That's a loss of down on top of it.
Well, it's 3rd and a country mile.
Intentional grounding. Offense. Number 16. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Loss of down. 3rd down.
So 3rd down coming up. And this has been a game of 3rd down and 38.
38.
Coming up. Game where we have seen now Bowie understanding the adjustment on the screen options for the Rangers and neutralizing it. 1:42 left here in the 3rd quarter. The Rangers deep back into their own territory now. This time of the play clock. Arnaud should do nothing else other than hand it off. And a bit of motion going right hand side. Handoff goes to Gaines.
Oh my.
And he goes nowhere. In fact, he'll lose about 2 to 3 yards on the play back to the 10-yard line. And what a huge win that was for the Bulldog defense. And again, whatever was working in this 3rd quarter offensively for the Rangers has been completely taken out by the Bowie philosophy and process of getting that done. Now here's Carmine Eli. He's already at the 44 of the Rangers. Ducachette gets it away. And boy, did he boom that one. He drives Carmine Eli all the way back to his own 30-yard line. And now he'll bring it back up and gets stopped. Stays on his feet. No, they're going to say he's down. Knees went down to the 33-yard line, 1st and 10, and that was a huge win from at least a punting perspective for the Rangers.
Great punt. And that's what you want to do is at least give your defense a chance to keep fighting because, you know, one play can make a difference here, at least tie this game.
On the 33-yard line.
And Eli has hands on hips. He's still back out on the field, and he has been, we've seen him play both sides of the football to start out the football game. He has been on special teams, now he's on the near side sideline by himself, and that against one of the better defenders, and Cade Nathman, who's been guarding him all night long, trips to the left-hand side. Handoff goes right-hand side, and defending the edge is Thomas, and he'll be bounced out of bounds, but not until he gets all the way up to around the 39-yard line. And that's one of the better runs we've seen here, and I'll just reverse what I said. If Bowie can do that on a regular occurrence, they'll also be able to find some different gaps in their offensive scheme.
Well, you got to get to the edge because you have the receivers taking those cornerbacks away from the edge. So if you can get one block, you have good enough rushers on both sides of the ball to gain yards.
Eli in the slot out left-hand side. One receiver right-hand side is ball. Here's the throw out left, and it's caught by Eli, and he's out of bounds. Though gets the 1st down. Beautifully thrown ball against the grain out to the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs. 1st and 10.
Well, there, Cruz Tello with a nice touch to throw the ball over the defender's hands and into the outstretched hands of our guy, number 14, Carmine Eli.
Trips right-hand side. And Owen Ball along with Carmine Eli and Martinez. Low snap and off the ground. Here's Tello, has to run with it and just throws it away.
Wisely.
Oh, it was a very well done when you know that you have a lead. You don't want to give up anything. Tyler Gilliland, though, he's been a workhorse too in the interior defensive line here for the Rangers, and he gave chase enough.
He sure did. But I like the fact that Cruz Tello coming near side to us, got outside the tackle box there, and then just throw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage and make it a souvenir. Throw it to the track, meaning clearly where no one's going to catch it inbounds.
Paul Martinez out right-hand side, ball in the slot to the right-hand side. Left-hand side is Carmine Eli. This is the short side of the field. Ball on the far side. Hash going left to right. Here's a handoff. No, inside. It's kept by Tello, and he'll have the first down and more. Good blocking upfield by Carmine Eli. Gets inside the 40 to the 37-yard line for a first down.
Cruz Hale defends the ball about 15 yards.
There's a flag on the 49-yard line on the far side of the field of the Rangers. So this might nullify the run.
Holding.
And
Offense.
the level of
Number 72.
frustration that
10
has
yards
to be
from the foul. Repeat second down.
It's a great call.
Yeah, it's a good call. I'm not.
I mean, that was a great offensive play call.
It's a good call on both ends, by the way.
But Trumpler, unfortunately, the left tackle, and you know, sometimes you get that edge, and I'm not sure what, you know, officiating crews want to see, but right there, that play was set up so well.
6 seconds, 5 seconds, the clock continues to count down. Bowie does not have to run a play if they don't want to, and I advise that they don't, and they won't.
Right.
2nd and 15 coming up at their own 42, but the clock will expire here in the third
that's
quarter.
the end of the
On to
third
the
quarter.
fourth quarter we go. Bowie Bulldog up 14-7 on Vista Ridge, and a big offensive series continuing here for Bowie. If they can continue to go here, it could really change the complexion of this game, as time is now a premium between two offenses that are struggling. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Do you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs health care at home? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. Our skilled, compassionate healthcare staff treats patients right where they want to be, in the comfort of their home. Robinson Creek offers personalized programs including cardiac care, wound care, diabetes and medication management, orthopedic care and therapy, as well as hospice care. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
Looking for the best brunch, lunch, dinner, or happy hour spot? Look no further than your neighborhood Waterloo Ice House. With 4 locations across Austin, we've been serving up cold drinks and made-from-scratch food for locals, newcomers, and families alike since 1976. Get a taste of original Austin with great food and good vibes. With our patios, playscapes, big screens, daily specials, breakfast all day, and more, we've got something for everyone. See locations, menus, and more at WaterlooIcehouse.com. Waterloo Ice House, where neighbors become friends.
This is a Bowie Bulldog defense that was 3rd in the 2016 standings at the end of the season in scoring defense. 193 points given up total on the year, only behind Westlake and Dripping Springs. That's saying a lot, and they're looking like they might be that kind of stalwart defense they're looking for in this particular year. But right now, the offense is being called upon to keep things going as Bowie leads 14-7, starting out the fourth quarter of play with 11:43 and counting down, just starting out here in the fourth quarter. Bowie going right to left, and now we'll have it at a 3rd and 10 after saving a little bit of yards there after the penalty.
Here's another time where I think you may want to go to your guy Cole Craddock, number 20, sent to the far side, maybe with a little play action.
He was the game breaker to nearly score and then eventually score at the end of the first half, and that time Tello trying to find Carmine Eli on the near side sideline around the 47-yard line. Eli is now a little bit frustrated, you can tell. He has been hounded all night long by one of the better defenders that the Rangers could put on him, and Nathan, and then also Tello has not had the time to be able to get the ball where he'd like it to go. And that will bring up yet another punt by Polito. Nathman back to receive at his own 20-yard line. Polito is at 31. Snap is back, and modest pressure coming up for the Rangers, and Polito gets it away. Knuckleballer hits at the 25-yard line, takes a huge Bowie bounce, and now that will roll all the way down to the 11-yard line on the far side sideline. Excellent punt by Polito, and the punters continue to go back and forth at each other, saving both teams from having to completely worry too much. I know that the Rangers actually had multiple opportunities with great starting field position around the second quarter.
Yes.
And also into the third. Could not capitalize. The defense rose to the occasion for Bowie, including what could be a touchdown-saving interception in the end zone by Braylon Thomas and tipped by Mims. Nonetheless, it's a huge series coming up, and here for the Rangers, as all of them will be now, as you don't know how many more offensive series you have.
Correct.
If you're down by 7 and you've only scored 7.
Yeah. And Vista Ridge used an explosive play for 48 yards to get in the end zone.
Here's Arnaud now. We'll clap once and then hand it off, and Gaines will stutter step his way past the 10 to the 12. The ball is actually on the 11-yard line, so the ball will get to the 13-yard line.
Small game.
Gaines with the modest gain. Reagan Cooper lost his helmet. He'll have to come off the field. And then Joaquin Tijerina will come in as backup. Over at the strong side linebacker spot. Last year, Cooper, who's still a junior, by the way, had a sack, a tackle for a loss, a fumble that was forced, and a recovery last year. Low snap, and Arnaud had no other choice other than to hold on to that football, and he is going to be swallowed up, and he'll lose about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Nick Beavers, the middle linebacker, coming in and making the play, but had it not been Beavers,
Nick Beavers tackled everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen. He
I don't
grabbed
care if
2
you're my guy.
Right.
I don't care.
He grabbed 2 guys, and now a stoppage of play D.
Another player down here due to cramps, I believe, here for the Rangers. So again, that's all.
That may be the quarterback that got tackled.
Well, I mean, he did come down slight awkwardly when you have this snap that was as low as it was, and in fact, he's holding his knee a little bit in the left hand, his left knee. Backup quarterback is Tommy Figueroa, senior, here for the Rangers, and Arnaud will pop back up though, and it'll look like he'll walk off on his own accord. And he'll do so, but he might have to sit out this one play.
Right.
And it's a 3rd down on 12. So now you have your backup, Tijerina, that will come in.
So you go max blitz.
You go max blitz.
You go max blitz. And I hate to, it's funny. Sometimes in some positions you just know what's coming. Jordan was going to take the last shot. You bring a backup quarterback inside the 10 on 3rd down in double digits, you're pretty much going to see some type of blitz. And it doesn't have to really be max blitz, because either you're going to hand it off and try to slip a little draw, but you have a guy that's not taking the snap, and here it comes on 3rd and crucial.
3rd and 12 for the Rangers. And it will be a pass down the left sideline and caught at the 40, still on his feet. Thomas, the only one to beat, and it will be a score for the Rangers. Touchdown, Vista Ridge.
91 yards. And Carmine Eli was there on the coverage, but a slippery Cade Nathman. And he plays defensive back, but there he's playing receiver.
Well, Nathman has been also the returner on all special teams. And the pass came from Grant Anderson, the linebacker. He just lobbed that ball and did the unexpected.
He just threw the ball up there.
And Vista Ridge is 1 point away from tying this one up.
Crazy play.
Dilperine will punch it through, and just like that, under 10 to go in the 4th quarter, we're all knotted at 14 at Berger between Bowie and Vista Ridge. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie game.
Do you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs health care at home? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. Our skilled, compassionate healthcare staff treats patients right where they want to be, in the comfort of their home. Robinson Creek offers personalized programs, including cardiac care, wound care, diabetes and medication management, orthopedic care and therapy, as well as hospice care. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
eventually you have the potential of having something like that end up happening, where you have not the backup quarterback, but a starting linebacker come in and throw a deep bomb. Anderson hitting Nathman, who are routine starters on the other side of the pigskin, completing one of the most improbable plays of the game, a 91-yard touchdown pass from Anderson. Nathman has it now 14-14. It was Bowie up 7-0 and then 14-0 to end the half. But since then, it's been a 48-yard touchdown pass from Arnaud to Jackson to make it 14-7 with 10:56 left in the third quarter. And now with 9:58 left in the fourth, it's 91 yards from Anderson and Nathman, who both play, again, routinely on the other side on defense.
Right.
But clearly Anderson has the arm, and Chad Scott dialed it up.
Sure did.
Here's the kick on the kickoff, and it's fielded around the 12-yard line on the far side sideline, and then stopped around the 24-yard line on the far side of the field, and also a player down for Bowie on the far side at the 25.
And the Bulldogs
looks like more cramps.
On the 25-yard line.
That is Owen Ball, the junior.
Official timeout for injury.
And the cramps continue to plague both teams. Which is,
we didn't have cramps until you were mentioning.
Well,
and then it seemed like happened, almost instantaneously. But I think what happened, D. Hansen, to be honest with you, is that the hydration levels of these players started to dip. They started to dip. Yeah. And, if you don't keep up with trying to maintain the hydration level, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but I've been caught in the same scenario when things get a little cooler, your body heats up, you're going and running against a hard surface. Now, the surfaces now, field turf, are definitely better than our first generation AstroTurf. But nonetheless, your body just doesn't respond as well with the pounding if it's not properly hydrated. The Bulldogs need an explosive play of their own. Their defense is playing well right there. You just dialed up. It's like hitting the Yo 11 on the craps table. You may roll it, but if you don't have your chips on the 11, it doesn't count well. Vista Ridge had the chips on the 11. 91 yards.
Well, now Bowie will try to answer the call, and they've had opportunities here in the second half to potentially put this game away, and it never came to fruition. And now they're trying to get back on top. Here's a reverse right-hand side, finding the edge and making a play down the far side sideline before he's brought out and brought from behind at around the 48-yard line as Matthew Martinez showing his wheels, and that is a first down carry with no flags on the field.
Well, and that's what I mentioned, a misdirection to a wideout. That was the play, and you could get Matthew Martinez or Carmine Eli coming around, and Martinez flying around the far side.
Martinez will take a breather now. He's on the far side, near side sideline.
His helmet came off.
That also makes it difficult. He has a lot of hair.
And I was fixing to say.
Up on that board. All kinds of substitution issues, and now Craddock, who initially was kind of coming late, did not. Keeper by Tello, eludes a couple tacklers. Go upfield, young man, please. And he gets midfield. And then we have a couple of
about 2 yards at the 50-yard line.
individual, fisticuffs going on, but that here nor there, it's part of the game. And the ball is at midfield now, and it's 2nd and 8. Now Craddock will come in.
Well, you see Cole James. He's the senior wideout, number 10. They're switching in and out. Well, you can't just run out on the field and think that you're going to jump in the formation. You got to count.
That's not looked upon.
Well, the good thing is it's not a legal substitution because you don't run into the huddle.
Right. Two receivers left-hand side, and Carmine Eli, and the slot is Craddock. Play action Tello. That fooled the defenders, and he gets out of one, has some time, and now will throw on the run right-hand side, and it will be caught.
And the pass is incomplete, but there is
incomplete. at the 24. There's a flag on the very opposite side of the field at around the 47-yard line where Craddock is.
Maybe an eligible man downfield. I don't know.
I mean, that was so away from the play.
But I don't know who this is on.
I don't know why this would even be remotely applicable.
It's 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. And it didn't seem like they was over the 3-yard limit.
We're
going to find out.
An eligible man downfield.
Called it.
Offense, number 61. 5 yards, remaining second down.
Where yards are at a premium with offenses that, for the most part, have had a hard time consistently moving the football.
Well, there you don't know if your quarterback is headed to run and you're trying to go block, then
but he's fighting for his life.
Cruz Tello spins back around to throw the ball while you're the lineman, you're downfield.
Tello out of the shotgun. We'll have Mathabel to his right-hand side now. Trips left-hand side. Mathabel will get the carry. And nope, it will be hit by Tello, and he won't find much of anything. He's upended for no gain.
Well, there,
far side sideline.
Tello should have probably dipped inside Carmine Eli's block. Carmine Eli's gone both ways, and he's struggling right now with the cramps. It's tough. You almost have to sit on the water jug to do the things that Carmine Eli's been doing, playing both ways tonight. His hydration level is poor.
Skylar Green on the stop for the Rangers on that last carry by Tello. Huge 3rd and 12 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Under 8 to go. Here's Tello fighting for his life again. On the run, flags flies all the way back on his own 25-yard line, and now he'll throw it out the right-hand side, and it'll be incomplete at midfield. A player down also due to cramps. And we'll see what the flags are all about. Trainers are coming out. Steve's throwing his arms all around, letting me know there's flags out there. There's a lot going on.
Well, there's 4 flags. One could be for a holding, but then there was a roughing the passer on the far side.
There's a flag at the far side 20-yard line, which would nullify all those things.
Yes.
And also give Bowie a first down. We'll see.
Carmine Eli has played himself a heck of a ball game, but I tell you can't be two people at once in this type of heat.
It's 2 fouls on the play. One by the offense and one by the defense. Personal foul. Block below the waist. Number 24 of the offense.
That will be
personal foul.
Offsetting.
Roughing the passer. Number 51 of the defense.
Go ahead.
Those penalties will be offset. Replay, 3rd down.
That's what I thought. Well, that's a killer right there for Bowie. Had they been able to get the roughing the passer.
Correct.
But again, it remains 3rd and 12 with 7:46 left in the contest, and we're knotted at 14. And as much as it was a first half dominated by the Bulldogs,
yes,
it has been a second half that the Rangers have taken advantage of and gotten back into this one. In fact, they also have it tied. And we've seen a few more. I'm not taking a tally here, but it feels like we have a few more of the cramp epidemic hitting Bowie more than the Rangers. But this time, it could go a little bit farther as Carmine Eli needs assistance by 2 individuals of the training staff to walk all the way across from the far side sideline because he cannot put any pressure on his legs.
Well, because they're cramping up. They're not going to let somebody walk on a bad wheel. But he's got cramps to the point where, his hydration level is extremely low. He's red line. Remember the commercial that they showed Jason Tatum, and he starts fading in and out like he looks like he's almost not there, and he's pointing the other direction, and then they finally hydrate him, then he goes back. That's the level of dehydration that you see for a heck of a game playing both ways.
Eli now off the field near the near side sideline will be escorted to the bench so he can sit.
Bulldogs.
2 backs out of the shotgun on each side of Cruz. And now play action. Here's Tello. He's in trouble, and then he'll be swallowed up and sacked at the 41-yard line.
Number 47.
And boy, the pressure and the speed of this defensive front by the Rangers continues to impress. Jason Handy, the junior defensive lineman, making the play. And the ball now at the 40-yard line will make it 4th and 18 for the Bulldogs, and they'll be forced to punt.
Well, Cruz Tello had his safety valve encasing with Abala, but he just didn't want to drop it down.
Here is Polito. Here comes the pressure. He gets it away. Nice booming kick. Nathan back, and he will field it and go ahead and try to return it. He reverses field all the way back to his own 10-yard line and brought down at the 7 or 8. Great coverage downfield in the special teams here for the Bulldogs, making it Dustin Farenthal with the stop, along with Sean Doherty, and that Bowie and Noah Lear making the play.
And the great swarming coverage. That's what you call kick coverage. And a booming kick, again, under duress. These kicks by...
Steve, give me some perspective here. I don't know why the ball's at the 10.
What do you mean? Because he kept running backwards. and that coverage just swarmed him up.
That's what I mean. It shouldn't be at the 10. It should be at like the 7.
Oh.
I saw him go down at around the 8 or the 7-yard line. There's no forward progress as you continue to run backwards.
That's true.
Okay.
You are correct.
So that's what I mean.
And I will give that to you.
6:54 left in the game. 1st and 10 here for the Rangers. We have knotted this game up here. In play action, here's Arnaud. Flings it, and it'll be caught at the 22-yard line for a first down. 12 yards. Connecting with Tian Murray. Now we'll move the chains. 1st and 10, and now Arnaud back in at quarterback after sitting out one play, which ended up being a 91-yard touchdown pass.
True.
He's now going to be back in, but he does show a little bit of promise, and now he will play action again. Look to pass. Has time. Throws it out right-hand side. Intercepted? No! And a flag comes in very late. Almost jumping that one again. The INT was Michael Villarreal. I'll be interested to see how this one's called, because it was blanketed coverage underneath and over the top. Well, I understand what they might call. I just disagree with it.
Well, your field judge called it, and here it comes.
Pass interference. Number 23. Spot foul. Automatic. First down.
That's the one that I'm not really sure about. Okay.
Well, it's a bad pass. So, I mean, it's you hate to see pass interference when the ball was nowhere close to the receiver. But
1st and 10, the ball now placed at around the 36-yard line. Back is Arnaud. He has some time. It's tipped at the line, and that will be incomplete.
And the
2nd and 10 coming up here. Again, the Rangers, Vista Ridge, trailed most of this game, down 14-0 at halftime, have crawled their way back into this one by virtue of some really just huge explosive plays, 48 and 91 yards. And those are the two big plays that made the difference here to make it 14-14, 6:25 left.
139 yards of explosive play.
That's it. That's all you need. Here's Arnaud now. And a 2nd and 10. Back is J.D. Jackson, who has one of those scores. Man in motion going left to right. Jackson gets the call, and then he gets blasted for a huge loss at around the 30-yard line.
Garrett Gibson.
He has been a beast in this game, and he continues to show up big in the late stages. And a player down for Bowie.
And we have an injury timeout.
First timeout for injury.
And this time, it doesn't look as much of it on the cramp side. As it does.
Looks like Matthew.
Yeah.
Michael
Villarreal.
I'm sorry.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have a 14-14 score between Bowie and Vista Ridge with 6:12 left in the fourth quarter play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Looking for the best brunch, lunch, dinner, or happy hour spot? Look no further than your neighborhood Waterloo Ice House. With 4 locations across Austin, we've been serving up cold drinks and made-from-scratch food for locals, newcomers, and families alike since 1976. Get a taste of original Austin with great food and good vibes. With our patios, playscapes, big screens, daily specials, breakfast all day, and more, we've got something for everyone. See locations, menus, and more at WaterlooIcehouse.com. Waterloo Ice House, where neighbors become friends.
Left in this completely different in two halves style of contest between Vista Ridge and Bowie. Vista Ridge is own here the second half of play, but now a 3rd and 15 staring them in the face. Here's Arnaud with time and then lobs it deep down the middle of the field, and it will bounce around. It'll be incomplete. Excellent coverage by Braylon Thomas downfield against Cade Nathman. And that will be a 4th and 15 for the Rangers, and they'll be forced to punt.
Yep, and Cole Jane's right there, but he's suffering from some of the cramping that you're seeing from these players. And Matthew Martinez is going to go back to return this punt. Great defensive play there by the Bowie.
We've not seen Carmine Eli back out on the field in incapacity, so we'll see if he ends up coming back into the contest as he's being tended to on the sideline, still on the benches. Martinez is back to receive here, a Ducachette punt, and he does get it away. Line driver, end over end. One hopper, Martinez has it, sprints right-hand side, and he'll be brought down, and at the 35-yard line he will be stopped. Mark Castillo with the tackle on special teams. And now here come the Bulldogs with 5:40 left in the contest. And
on the 36
with 2 timeouts remaining, the Bulldogs have really not done much of anything on offense here in the second half.
Well, you know, everybody discounting the running game in football. This is a prime opportunity to counter that.
Cole Craddock, a lone receiver, left-hand side. Bunch to the right are 3 receivers. Here's a handoff right, and it will be Thomas with the carry. He is stopped after about 2 yards on the far side of the field. Trying to get as close to that 39-yard line. He'll be short by a yard. It'll be a 38-yard line, so about a gain of 3.
Right. And again, you gotta take time off the clock, pick up first downs, and maybe this is an opportunity for your kicker to win it at the end of the game.
2 yards, 2nd and 8. On the far side hash. Going the ball out, left-hand side. Cole Janes out right-hand side, the lone receiver there. Trips left. Here's Tello.
Be smart.
Looking down the middle of the field. He'll lob it deep down the middle, and now that should be picked off. There's 2 defenders there for the Rangers, and they are unable to hold on to it. And the Cramps continue to wreak havoc on Matthew Martinez now, who's slow to get back into the huddle. He was the intended receiver. That ball slightly underthrown.
Yeah, and right now you don't want to do is be 3 and out here and give the ball back to your opponent.
It's 3rd and 8 though, so and a team that would like to probably run the football a little bit more to gain first downs are unable to do so. The Bulldogs. Here's Tello, screen right-hand side, perfect play for this particular defense, and it does manage to get around 4 to 5 yards, but still well shy of the first. And that complete to Brandon Thomas. Punting unit comes back out for Bowie. It feels like both teams are almost hoping their defenses make a play
yes.
to score.
Yes.
or at least put their offenses in a position to be in the red zone or even closer.
Correct.
To get what would be maybe the game-winning score in this game. If I told you that Bowie scored 14 and 1, here's the punt by Polito. High kick. Hits at around the 23-yard line. Sideways it rolls, and they'll be stopped around the 23 as well.
On the 28-yard line.
So 4 minutes even left in the ball game. Bowie's defense back out on the field. And we'll see what Garrett Gibson and co. can do. And they have been, for a large portion of this game, at least 95% of it, remarkable.
Well, now you want to count on that front three. I think Colin Rice, Garrett Gibson, and anybody else in that interior part of the defense, if they can put enough pressure here, because I think you're going to see some screens, you're going to see some passes downfield.
There's a lot of assignment play here. Dylan Farrell coming near side sideline to make sure he's on 10 Murray. It takes about 8 yards, 10 yards back home. Here is Arnaud back to throw. He'll throw it, and it'll be complete at the 32-yard line. 33. Ball is loose and picked up by Braylon Thomas. He'll go down the right sideline. He'll get to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown. Nope. I have not seen indication from the officials. They are stopping play. Players down.
Is it out at the 1?
I haven't seen an indication from the officials on a touchdown yet. I would love to hear what it's going to happen next.
Well, you wanted...
Haven't I seen any flags yet?
No, I think the ball's at the 1 yard line. Oh, wait. No, looks like something against Bowie. This is not a touchdown.
Well, I know it's not a touchdown. That's the part I do know.
Well, so we think.
The part I didn't see anybody throw their hands up. Anybody. Not one person that
Zero.
was an official did that.
Oh, my gosh. What do we have
After
here?
the interception, holding on the return team.
There we go.
10 yards from the
Post
foul.
turnover.
First down.
Right.
Did you say interception, by the way?
No, that's a fumble.
That's what he said.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fumble recovery by Braylon Thomas.
Yes.
His second recovery.
Right.
This one a fumble recovery. That's the third turnover of the game by Vista Ridge.
Right. Yeah. He fumbled. So they took the ball 10 yards back from the 5, where that must have been where it was first down on the 15.
Yes. So it was a touchdown on the field, but the officials knew it wasn't immediately as there was a hold on the return.
So at the last
so
guy,
that's not indicated.
That's right. The last guy should have just shielded the guy and not.
It's huge now as. It will be a handoff. Here's keep by Tello, and he'll be driven back. This is the last thing Bowie wants to do is go backwards. They're now at the 19-yard line, and there'll be a loss of 4 on the play.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you got a little greedy.
An opportunity here. If you cannot get into the end zone, at least get a field goal on the board.
That's a little too cute. I think that ball could have just been handed off by Brandon Thomas, who had a good running lane, but again, that could have been a read option where Cruz Tello said, "No, I'm going to keep it."
Keep in mind, this is one of the better front fours that you're going to see most of the season. So, although you'd like to see more out of the offense here for Bowie, this is a good defense for Vista Ridge. Throw out right-hand side is caught by Cole Craddock. He's near the original line of scrimmage, nearly gaining back what was lost on that last play. That runs the clock at 2:47 and counting down. It's 3rd and 11 here for the Bulldogs. And how much you would want that Braylon Thomas got into the end zone right now?
Well, what you got to do is you got to have your kicking team ready.
Yeah.
So you don't have to take a timeout.
I did ask Coach before the season started about the kicking situation, as that's always kind of up in the air here with the Bowie Bulldogs.
Got 10 seconds here, Coach. What are we doing?
They're going to run it down, and they're going to take a timeout.
Clearly.
Okay. Let me get my thought out. Are you ready? Okay. So I asked about the kicking situation here for Bowie, and I said, what do you feel would be a consistent distance for Jabby on the season? He said 30 yards. If we can get 30 yards and in, I feel like he can be consistently making this.
All right, well, then we're not there yet.
Well, Bowie's not there yet. I agree.
Bowie is not there yet. That was the collective universal we, given 30 yards. So, 30 yards basically is you have to spot the ball at the 20. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 yards for you to make a 30-yard field goal. From where we are right now, the ball's spotted at the 16.
And that's possible.
Yes.
It's 3rd and 11. You don't have to go for broke here. The last thing you want to do is turn the ball over.
Correct. Good call, Coach. Coach D. Hanson.
Yeah, the only problem I've had with this game is that I'd be too conservative. This is a tough game as the chess match continues.
Gotcha.
And the absence of continuity on offense for both sides of the football running up against the walls of the defense.
Got to be smart here.
Trips left-hand side in the 3rd and 11 with 2:12 left.
Oh,
bad snap back. Teller doesn't even know where the football is. Loses it, and Vista Ridge might recover at the 31-yard line. There's a flag at the 26-yard line. And it will be recovered by the Rangers, their first turnover of the game.
Take the ball.
Oh, no.
Credit number 30, Josh Schwartz, for retrieving the ball for the Rangers.
Holding against Bowie.
Number 72, the offense.
That will be
declined.
declined.
1st and 10.
And this has been a tough second half to stomach if you're a Bowie Bulldog fan. As soon as Vista Ridge gave it up in a huge defensive play, Bowie's defense will be called upon once again to see if they can reverse the fortunes of this team in the second half.
The only thing that gives me hope is the mad rush from the front three of Bowie to disrupt this timing of these passes.
Here's Arnaud ranging right, throws right, and it'll be incomplete.
The pass is incomplete.
And that is a matter of Jake Pando feeling the footsteps on that one.
And here's the deal. You get a 3 and out because of 3 passes, you really are going to only waste about 15 seconds. And there's also the opportunity for another turnover from the Rangers. They are risk-reward when it comes to the passing game.
Arnaud once again on a 2nd and 10. He will hand it off and nowhere to go, and then drop for a loss. That is J.D. Jackson. One of the bigger plays in the game, a 48-yard touchdown pass reception. Once he gets going, he's tough to stop. At that time, he did get going. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 13.
You call a timeout after this play?
1:30 left in the ball game, knotted at 14. Vista Ridge content with letting this run down.
No doubt.
10 on the play clock.
No doubt.
And they're all kinds of confused. And now back in the contest is Grant Anderson, who threw the 91-yard touchdown. And with 0 on the play clock, he gets it away. Then he gets stopped and he gets dropped.
Drilled.
Number 8, great.
Drilled.
Jackson laying in there to give a big old bear hug to Grant Anderson.
Oh my goodness.
Made the initial hit, and that will bring up a 4th down and a mile here for the Rangers with 1:05 left and a timeout taken on the field.
Well, that's what I said. Yes. Which gave me confidence was that front 3. They have been unstoppable.
Timeout Bowie. That is the final timeout by the Bulldogs.
It's fine.
And they now will get the ball with 1:05 left, more than likely, unless the Rangers go for a fake.
I got a question.
Sure.
Why not put Braylon Thomas and Matt and
Max Barnes
and Matthew Martinez
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
So that what that position formation is called safe, meaning that because you can split the field in half on the punt return. Because you saw how well Braylon Thomas returned the scoop. I think you want to maybe don't let this ball bounce and roll.
Yeah.
But hopefully Matthew Martinez can make the catch. He's also a really good return man as well.
Here comes Ducachette. In his own 6, low snap. He's able to collect it, and now he'll have to run with it, and he will. That might have even been designed. Nobody's looking. He's at the 30, 45, 40, 50, midfield. He might go. The Rangers. Oh, my goodness. Flags fly. This will not stand as a touchdown. The flag thrown at the 36-yard line will nullify an improbable run here by Ty Ducachette. With 50 seconds to go, but the Rangers will have 1st and 10 at 36 of the Bulldogs.
Well, it'll be moved back from the spot.
A little
of the
bit,
foul.
yeah, I agree.
So
but they'll still have the retained possession and be in Bulldog territory with 50 seconds to go.
Correct. Well, it's
And
interesting.
like I said, unless they fake it, and I'm not entirely sure that wasn't designed.
Well, the containment can't turn and run. And this is going to come back 10 yards from the 36, so it's going to be 1st and 10 on the 46. That's a huge break for Bowie.
Agreed.
Huge.
And you never know what's going to happen in this game. I'm just telling you.
It's crazy.
As soon as you think the other team doesn't have a chance.
Illegal blindside block.
Oh, that's 15.
That's a big one. That's a 15-yarder.
Number 20.
Oh, that's 15.
15 yards from the spot of foul.
Oh, that's different.
That brings it all the way back to the Rangers' 49-yard line. So when that flag was thrown around the 32 of Bowie, I thought, okay. No, that's all the way back. Vista Ridge in their own territory, which kind of changes the complexion of the opportunities that they might have here. But Arnaud has shown the ability to get a 10-yard out ever so often. They don't need much. Clarence DePerrine, pretty admirable kicker. Here is a keeper by Arnaud. He is swallowed up. He does get into Bowie territory after a 2-yard gain to the 49-yard line.
We're not
going
going.
second down.
We're not going. These non-district games just end in a tie, correct? Or do we go into overtime?
I don't know. I don't know. Timeout taken on the field by Vista Ridge. It has to be. With 29 seconds to go. That's a great question.
And there's no need to play it out.
Timeout, Vista Ridge. Their 3rd and final timeout.
Okay, that does it for both teams now. There's no way to stop the game other than a first down or going out of bounds.
Well, it's
or
probably
an incomplete pass.
It's probably kept everybody in the stadium, to say the least.
It's 10:30 on a Thursday night to start out football, and this has been a whirlwind of a contest.
Big plays.
There's nothing, you can't peg it either way.
Right. And 2nd and 8 from the Bowie 49. As you mentioned, 32 seconds on the clock.
Well, no matter what ends up happening at the end of this game, there's a couple of things to note, Steve, that bring up a lot of questions.
Yes.
One, this defense looks pretty good here for Bowie to start out the season as far as continuity and being able to stop the run and bring some pressure for the quarterback. But on the reverse side, this offense has a lot of work to do.
That's correct. And I'm going to say that you got to watch the pass here, but you got to pursue to the quarterback.
See how Bowie approaches this with 3 down linemen, and now they'll bring one more deep ball right side, and it will be intercepted at the 15-yard line. Cole James with the INT. Come on. What is going on? That is now
great play, Cole James.
One,
great play.
2, 3, 4 turnovers by Vista Ridge, 3 turnovers by Vista Ridge.
15-yard line.
Great play by Cole Janes. Cole Janes sits right in the back pocket of the wide receiver and then outplays him to the ball. Cole Janes comes down. He plays wide receiver as well for Bowie on the offensive side of the ball. But this D was textbook how to out jump and outbeat your man on a 50-50 ball.
With almost no contact with the receiver.
Yes.
There's no way you could call
A plus
any level of
A plus
contact.
technique.
Okay, we'll see what Tello and company can do with 26 seconds to go and no timeouts. Here's Tello. He'll keep it. He'll go up the middle. Get to around the 17, 18-yard line at the most. The clock will run. No way to stop it. And we're on our way to a tie.
Tackled by the host of Rangers.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you were here, you would know how physically spent both teams are at this point.
Just
Okay, man, over.
what are we doing? No, it looks like they want to go to overtime.
I think we're going. I think we're going. Nobody's leaving. Well, have you seen non-district games just end at the...
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't. I'm sure that it's at the discretion of the coaches, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, again, after this game, it doesn't get any easier for Vista Ridge. They host Georgetown and then Clemens, the Buffaloes, out of 27-6A. Vista Ridge with the opportunity to have 3 non-district games on their slate.
Yep.
And then they will open up district play against Cedar Ridge and the Raiders, open date. And then they have 3 of their next 4 games on the road against McNeil, Westwood, and Manor. They round out their season at home against Vandergrift and Round Rock.
Ouch.
Well, it doesn't get much easier for Bowie. They end their season at Westlake and here at home against Lake Travis.
Ouch.
Yep. But it will be Bowie at it once again against 25-6A Cedar Ridge. The Raiders going 5-6 last year. And then the first game of district play will be Veterans Memorial to take on the Del Valley Cardinals, who went 2-6 last year. And then the Anderson Trojans up-and-comers, as they have been tabbed for the last couple of years.
Agreed.
And they had opportunities last year, even though they went 2-6, to be much better. They narrowly lost a couple of those matchups. Then Bowie will be at Tiger Stadium to take on Dripping Springs. Tigers going, of course, 7-1. Austin High Maroons. The open date happens, and then the big one. A lot of people are circling this the 13th of October at Johnson to take on the Jags.
Well, this looks like OT to me, sir.
Well, Jeff Abels is going out, walking out to midfield, along with Coach Chad Scott to discuss. And when both head coaches are conferring with the officials with a handshake, maybe that's the case. Nothing on the scoreboard would indicate yet with a change of time. I'm not seeing a 12 put back up on the scoreboard. It's still zeros. I think this is still a conference about what they want to do. And I see down below us, the training staff is starting to break down their tent.
Well, they're not sure what's going on.
I agree. Just looking at...
It's a non-district
Just looking
game.
at stuff.
Honestly.
It is. How much more do you gain out of an overtime? And that's what both coaches are weighing right now.
Correct. And
including injuries that could...
Maybe they're saying we'll do one shot.
By the way, and I'm just telling you what I see.
Yes, sir.
Carmine Eli is out of his pads.
Oh, yeah.
He is on crutches, and he has an ice pack on his right knee. So this goes beyond a cramp.
Yeah, but he may just be doing that for precaution.
I'm not telling you anything else other than what I see, like I said. And that is the advantage of at least having one more non-district game. That doesn't necessarily have to play.
Well, right now,
It's a long conference between Coach Scott and Abels.
Yeah, man. This is.
I don't know if it's been a while, at least, if nothing else.
Coach Abels doesn't talk that long to us when we're trying to get game notes. Kid.
This is a unique situation that you don't see very often. I think for the most part, Stormy Johnson and his crew have done a good job. By the way, they flipped a coin. A coin was just flipped. I don't know what that means. It could mean, do you want to do it or not? I don't know. Let's flip a coin to see whether we even do it or not.
There's a lot of discussion.
Coin flips have determined a lot of things in Texas high school football, by the way. You can go back. I'm sure there's books written about it.
You think?
Well, if the game ended right now, Steve, what did you gain from this first game of the season?
Well, you're going to have a lot of game film to use as a teaching tool for both sides.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get, well, here we go.
Stormy.
Here we go.
Bowie has won the toss and has chosen to be on defense.
Oh, they're going.
Vista Ridge.
Okay.
1st and 10 from the 25.
So this is going to be a overtime situation where both teams are going to start at the 25 of their opposition and keep on going until somebody dies.
Don't say that.
It's a tough. Well, I mean,
expires.
Yeah,
expires. It gets exhausted.
Gets exhausted. Needless to say, this has been one of those games that you knew based on the heat factor. This could be a tough situation, but the last thing necessarily you wanted to see was maybe go overtime.
Right.
That's what we're seeing now. But this is gut check time and a good situation to see how your team perseveres. There's a lot of teaching moments you could throw at your team.
Without a doubt, D.
And this is where turnovers are huge.
And this is where you say
in the overtime scenario.
You know, some of the mental breakdowns are going to be teachable moments in the film study of this opening game on Thursday here.
Creeping up on 10:42. Game that has been a knockdown drag out, and here it will be, I believe, Grant Anderson, who's going to continue to be at quarterback now, especially this close, as he is a big guy out there and a good run. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to pick up 5 on runs by your quarterback, you might as well just keep on doing that when you're starting at the 25-yard line.
Absolutely. And you still have the screen capacity.
Oh, yeah. We know he can throw the football. Now it'll be a handoff. Here's Gaines, and he won't find any room. He will be stopped at the 20. 3rd and 5 coming up.
DJ Jackson. This is the line of scrimmage.
It's me, Jackson on the carry. And he
30,
has also had a lot of playing time on the offensive side.
3rd down, Ranger.
Who's your quarter? Okay, so you're right. Oh no, we switch quarterbacks.
Yeah, we're switching in and out now here on a passing down, essentially on a 3rd and 5. Arnaud will come in.
You can still run the screen.
Yeah, and Gaines will stay in now at the running back slot on the right-hand side. Late sub coming in for Vista Ridge will be R.J. Gutierrez. He's in the slot on the right-hand side. Here's Arnaud. Here's the snap back. He runs and rolls right-hand side, throws, and he'll be caught for a touchdown! The Rangers score on a 3rd and 5. Arnaud will hit his biggest target in 6'4", 205-pound James Hester, the senior. And the Rangers now a point away from going up by a touchdown and forcing the Bulldogs to do the same.
Great play and a great pass.
Extra point is up and good for the Rangers. We'll keep it here with Bowie now down for the first time in this ball game. It happens to be in overtime, 21-14. Bowie has had that 14 up on the board since the end of the first half and not been able to build on it all game, all second half.
No, and that's unfortunate because there was a lot of opportunities. And again, you had first and goal at the 2, but for a called holding, and you don't need to hold. When a guy's returning, whether it be a scoop and score, a return, you just shield yourself opposite the other team. You let the person with the ball cut off of that. You don't even have to touch them. So all these things, as you mentioned, D, are teachable in film study.
Well, Bowie still has a crack at it.
No doubt.
From their own 25 or the 25-yard line, it will be a read and a handoff here, right-hand side, and not able to find anything is Delmark.
And a handoff to number 22.
Maybe a half a yard at the most on the near side sideline. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Bowie. And as the second half has gone on, Bowie's had a much more difficult time trying to throw the football comparatively to the Rangers.
You are correct, but you can scheme yourself open, meaning you can run some plays to have some crossing patterns in that secondary for your quarterback.
Forget Carmine Eli has been not part of this offense for about halfway through the fourth quarter of play.
Number 4.
And Tello will connect out left side to Matthew Martinez. Inside the 20. Makes it a 3rd down and along 4 to go here for a first down.
Right. This ought to be an interesting play call here because we see Cole Craddock come in. He got loose for a nice reception. But right now, a little confusion.
A lot of shuffling now. Right, you have trips right-hand side. And here it's Tello, who will roll out right-hand side, then throw it out right, and it'll be caught at around the 12-yard line for a first down by the aforementioned Cole Craddock.
There he is. Good route. Got his body between the quarterback and his defender, and he held on even though tight coverage.
Great point. That could have easily been punched out.
Correct.
Good coverage. Rangers secondary, but Craddock.
Now I'd like a little cruise tello. Now you could get a little cruise tello on a little option run here because you spread out the defense. You just picked up a first down.
Kaysen Matt the ball out left-hand side, the starting fullback, with trips left-hand side, the long side of the field. Back is Tello, and he is hounded and sacked at the 19-yard line.
You got to throw that ball away. That's a teachable moment right there. You can't hold on to the ball.
And credit
Josh Schwartz,
number 30,
making the sack.
Yeah.
2nd and 18. Again, Bowie can get a first down. They'll need to get around the 2-yard line to do so. And the line of scrimmage right now is just inside the 20-yard line. Timeout taken on the field. And we'll take it with him. With a 2nd and 18 for Bowie, down 21-14 in overtime to Vista Ridge here at Berger. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. In fact, in just our area alone, the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation has granted more than $343,000 to local first responder heroes. That's why at Firehouse Subs they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. And their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. With Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go, it's never been easier to grab subs to go for you or your whole crew. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app, and they'll have your sub boxed, bagged, and ready to be picked up at our designated to-go areas. No line, no waiting. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
player down also for the Bowie Bulldogs. But back up is Justice Crumpler. And he'll come off the field on this play, which is a 2nd and 18 in overtime for Bowie, who has led the majority of this game, but has relinquished that late stages of the fourth quarter and here in overtime. Misdirection now. Here's Tello. He is still on his feet, throws to the end zone. He'll be intercepted. That's the game. Cutting up in front of that one, and ill-advised if nothing else, but still the Rangers defense making the play will end this ball game for the Bulldogs, which is a tough way to end it. But there's a holding call, which will go against Bowie, be nullified, and Vista Ridge with a come-from-behind victory here in overtime will take it 21-14.
Vista Ridge Rangers 21, Bowie Bulldogs.
Well, I tell you,
14.
This could be good, and one reason, because you see a team that's celebrating on your home field, you know you had a tremendous lead and the momentum, and because of a couple of explosive plays, and again, you cannot take anything away from Vista Ridge that hung in, and when you leave a team that, as you mentioned, D. Hansen, has an opportunity to be one of the 4 teams to represent.
In a tough district, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they did not come by that lightly if you're bringing them up. And district that has Round Rock and Vandergrift in it.
Yeah. So
nothing
no
to
shame
that whatsoever.
That's
no,
right.
Not at all. And
No
then
shame.
again, this is non-district play. So you're hoping the best for whatever ends up being the ailment for Carmine Eli. Along with that, an opportunity for this offense to continue to mature.
Yes.
As it came in with being vastly inexperienced together, nonetheless, if nothing else. And a defense that you know you can hang your hat on for the rest of the season, because they're going to get nothing but better.
Exactly.
Is what I would imagine.
Correct.
Well, that's going to stop us out here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll round things out here from Burger Stadium and get your final score. The Vista Ridge Rangers come from behind and take one, steal one here at Burger in overtime, 21-14 over the Bulldogs. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Do you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs healthcare at home? Robinson Creek Home Health and Hospice can help. Our skilled, compassionate healthcare staff treats patients right where they want to be, in the comfort of their home. Robinson Creek offers personalized programs including cardiac care, wound care, diabetes and medication management, orthopedic care and therapy, as well as hospice care. We're a local, female-owned company committed to doing things right. Visit rchomehealthhospice.com today.
Most injury attorneys these days are characters, all promising to get you a big check easily and quickly. The truth is, when handled well, an injury case is not easy and they take time. You shouldn't pick an attorney because of their gimmicks. You should pick an attorney because they have experience and resources to get you and your family the best outcome. A serious injury requires a serious attorney. At the Carlson Law Firm, we're not characters, we're attorneys with character.
CarlsonAttorneys.com. We care,
At the
we can
Armstrong
help.
Community Music School, we teach, explore, perform, and celebrate music by offering
Most injury
lessons
attorneys
and
these days are
classes for all
characters.
ages and
All
skills. At the Armstrong Community Music School, we teach, explore, perform, and celebrate music by offering lessons and classes for all ages and skill levels. We've been proudly serving the Austin community for over 23 years. To learn more, visit acmsaustin.org or call 512-474-2331. We value you and your joyful lifelong journey of creative expression.
No doubt a tough one here for the Bowie Bulldogs, who opened up a 14-0 lead going into half. It looked as though they were able to, the defense able to get out on the field and make some plays.
Right.
And the offense, if they just add one little thing at one time during the quarter, or the second half would have been able to eke this one out against a very competitive, good and solid Vista Ridge squad, but unable to do so. And then going into overtime, Vista Ridge made the plays they needed to in offense and on defense, by the way, with a big interception to cap it off. Steve, do you have any final thoughts here before we wrap things up?
I think you assessed it pretty well. This is going to be a film that's going to teach this young team that's coming together how to not or they'll show the mistakes that you do not need coming down the stretch and can grow from that. As mentioned, one less non-district game, so you're going to have to shore up things quicker than usual. But I think there's a lot of promise because, again, a team led by its defense doesn't have to count on a young offensive squad that I think will progress as the season goes to win you football games.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Next up, the Bowie football team here will wrap up their short non-district slate with the road game at Keller Reef Sports Complex in Round Rock when they face the Cedar Ridge Raiders. The Raiders went 5-6 last season and snuck into the postseason. Only you take on the Westlake Chaparrals in the bi-district round of the playoffs where they fell 58-10. Bowie, it's played Cedar Ridge last year, game 2 as well, coming out on top in that one, 34-13. Bowie and the Raiders have split their only 4 meetings they've had dating back to 2013. None of those games have been all that close. If you just look at the final score, at least, with both teams winning by double digits. We'll have that game for you here on the Vype Live Network. Bit of a earlier start time than normal. Pregame will be at 6:45 for a 7 o'clock kickoff there in Round Rock. Again, their final score here from Berger. The Vista Ridge Rangers have 21 on the board, and the Bowie Bulldogs 14. You've been listening to Bowie Bulldogs High School Football here along the Vype Live Network. From our engineer and on-site producer, Matt Lorenz, my broadcast partner, of course, Steve Foster, I'm Dee Hansen. From all of us here, have a great night.